of true crime. From cold cases to serial killers, missing persons, and more.
100% he did this.
I'd go off into fantasy world.
How much more lucky can you get that you're not on death row?
You want to know what we know.
My name is Jay. This is Guilty of Crime.
What is up, everybody? Loyal people on a Friday. Lauren, Wisconsin, got accepted for her kidney today. Woot woot. All right, what's going on, people? Man, today we're talking about Jennifer Soto. We're gonna go over some audio. We're going to listen to the audio together. I feel like a lot of people have already been listening to this. Now, arrest Jen Soto now, says Sadie's mama. You know what I found? I found a petition to arrest Jen Soto. So I'm going to show you real quick because I was a little skeptical about it, and I want to know what you guys think, if you think it's real or not. And hello, everybody. Hello, Avis. What's up? Birdie, Seraphine, Sherry Vivian, to my best and all. Randy B, I love you too. Howdy from Texas, Amy Boyd. Jojo, gifting a membership so soon. Thank you. All right. And Rachel Townsend, a member for 1 month. Arrest Jen Soto. Now, we want to arrest Jen Soto. I copied this in the link. We need more people than that. I don't know why their next goal is 200. Demand the arrest of Jennifer Soto for child endangerment and abuse. Why this petition matters. Jennifer Soto willingly made her daughter Maddie, from age 8 to 13, sleep in a bed with an unrelated, unemployed adult male whilst Jen slept alone in the main bedroom of the home. During this time, Maddie was subjected to horrific SA by Jen's boyfriend, Stephan. Stephan taught her how to perform and receive, I'm going to say oral, and engage in full. And you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm just reading this for the first time. On Maddie's birthday, Jennifer wasn't even home until late night and instructed Stephan to make sure Maddie showered and washed her hair for school the next day. Jennifer's negligence makes her just as responsible for the abuse as Stephan, for which he's already arrested. The blatant disregard for her daughter's safety must be addressed immediately. We demand that Osceola County Police arrest Jen Soto without delay. Sign this petition to bring justice for Maddie and prevent such tragedies from happening again. You can share this petition with a QR code. All right. Did we come in hot? Or what? Now, I do have a doc. I don't know how new it is or what, but I'm going to go over a document that shows that the incident report shows asphyxiation. I'm going to get to that, Sadie's mama. I'm going to get to that. There's lots of stuff in the document. I'm also going to highlight that I'm going to go over and read to you, and then we're going to listen to some audio. That way I'm not doing the same thing as everybody else. So I'm trying to make, arrest Jen Soto. Also, don't forget to hit the like as you come in, please. Like, subscribe, share, all the things. Remember, that supports my channel. Today I was feeling a little bit like, oh man, I'm a little bit tired. I don't know if I feel like going on. I want to report on this, but you know those days. But anyway, I need you guys to sign that change.org, demand the arrest of Jennifer Soto for child endangerment and abuse. Share it. Sign it. I've already signed it. I'm going to put that in chat for you so you guys can sign that. We need to get way more than that. And thank you, sweetie. What's up, Amy Boyd? Hit the like button. There's 171 people in here and only 41 likes. What's up, Adam? Thanks for always jumping on the story when new stuff drops. Appreciate you. Absolutely. Brianna Zapeta signed it. Thank you. LA, hit that like. All right. Melissa Johnson, don't tell me you're homeless in a tent. I would ask how you're doing, but why don't you send me an email and we can talk after this and see if anyone can help also in chat. Right. Kristen Davis, hi, beauties. Thank you for yesterday for the membership. My internet is wacky lately. Melissa Johnson, I want to know about what's going on with you and let us know in chat. Thank you, Veronica, for signing. Sadie's mama, I'm going to go over this. I want to show you guys the incident report. There's so many things in the incident report. I can't go over all of it, but I have some things highlighted and I wanted to show you the asphyxiation for yourself. Michelle Britton, you're welcome for showing up. I'm here for obviously Maddie, and then we're all here for Maddie, and then we're here to report on this atrocious case. So thank you, Rosie, for signing the arrest. Jen Soto, Amy Cray signed it, Daisy's mom signed it, Melissa Johnson signed it. Man, you guys are rocking today. You guys are really just doing it. Okay, Mac, good to see you. Good to see all of you here. Thank you for supporting my channel. I was feeling a little bit like, but now I'm feeling better. LA signed it. Sunrise signed it. You see what happens when we come together? Silver Winter Tarot signed it. Kathy's been watching my show, loves my channel. Thank you. All right. I'm going to pull this up and then I'm going to put the rest, change.org down. If you guys need me to come back to that, I will. I'm going to show you the asphyxiation on the report, and then I'm going to just kind of go over some things. And I just wanted to show you for yourselves about the asphyxiation. I kind of wanted to, let's say, clear that up. I want to say cleared up because we've talked in the past about the COD. Now, we weren't supposed to get a cause of death here, but yeah, I'm looking at this incident report and it clearly says asphyxiation. Chumba, thank you. Thank you for saying, Jay, your channel's awesome. I appreciate that. You know, I'm just a little old channel, little tiny baby channel right now, and I'd love to get more subscribers. So thank you. Thank you for supporting anything that you can help with. If you don't have a membership, get a membership. If you want to gift memberships, gift them. Anything helps. It's free to hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you, Sergio, my man. Adam, my main man. Brianna, good vibes. We love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So what? Smash, but you'll be big soon. You're a badass. Well, thank you. Thank you. All right. Yeah, I hope so. Root trackers, buddy. All right, I hope so. I really hope so because I want to get these things out there, and I want to answer D. I wish I could answer D on what made Stephan Sterns completely snap. Let's look at the incident report and take a look at the asphyxiation and talk about that a little bit, and then I will highlight some things for you and read them to you, and then we'll go over some of the audio together and you'll get my take on it. Thank you, Amanda Gibson, for signing it. What's up, fam? Tiff Knox. I suppose some of you saw me on Oblivious Benson last night. That was definitely like Oblivious said, hey, I got something to talk to you about. Come on. And then she left and she went and walked her dogs. And I was like, oh, well, hello, everybody. Hello. So, yeah. Brianna Zapata, Zapata, you say think Jen snapped. I was thinking that too. I just don't know right now because the evidence is lacking. Why is no one talking about how they charged him? What do you mean how they charged him? All right, let's look at this so I can see what you mean by how they charged him. And Chumba's from Scotland. All right, they got your Jade Hancock. Maddie had a crush. I think so too. I think she had a crush, and I think she told him that is it. I'm done. I'm stopping. And Lauren from Wisconsin's coming in hot from Jay, which is me, with a 199 super chat. So thank you. Yeah, I think Maddie had enough. And Jojo, tell me your theories if you have a few of them. They did charge him, but you say charged him, but I want to know what you mean by charged him. I can't. Is it Oggledle? Oggledle. I don't know how to say that, but I'm just gonna make a fool of myself. Signed and shared to Facebook. Thank you. Arrest Jen Soto. Absolutely. All right. So what we talked about in the beginning was okay, there it is. You got your fingers typing OG. I'm going to call you OG over here. You're the OG. Charged him with premeditated on 4/24/24. Now, premeditated, let's look at this. Let's look at this together. How about that? All right. All right, what's up, a crime to remember? Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. So let's look at this real quick. We're gonna start with the report 6/13/24, and then we're gonna go to the incident investigation report. Now, this is what stood out to me because it says that okay, it's from the Kissimmee Police Department. Location of incident is at their apartment, Santa Maria Drive. So we've pretty much known that the crime scene was at the condo. That confirms it for me. It says the crime incident is a homicide, gang related, no. And then it says the residence type is home and the weapon tool is asphyxiation. So, I mean, this is saying a lot for me. Asphyxiation to Madeline Soto. All right. So, yeah, there's a lot in this report. There's 80 pages on here. I'm just going to go over some things, but it says race, white, sex, female, relationship to offender. And then it says 1SC resident, individual, law enforcement. Then it goes over the name. So it goes over the name Jennifer Soto. It gives her birth date, resident, name of. So Carlos Cassidy must be it's one of the people in the apartment. It's another resident there. And it's also at the Venetian Bay, but it's 4001. That's interesting. So we're going to go over some of this stuff, but I wanted to really highlight that asphyxiation is now she put perpetrator, Jack Stormo. Maddie wrote perpetrator, but a lot of people, I don't understand why people were saying that journal was Jen Soto's the other day, and now they're saying it's Maddie's. They're saying Maddie wouldn't write perpetrator and all the way the text was written, but then the drawings were kid-like drawings. So it did say perpetrator. It said something about my perpetrator. So, all right. His father said he was stressed and aggravated on Saturday. Why? What did he know? Right. Let's go over that real quick. That's a good one. I'm glad you're reading that. I'm glad you're talking about that. I mean, I'm going to read that and I'm just going to go through it. I suppose you guys got some of the highlights and let me pull that up. Why was he irritated on Saturday? Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about him being irritated on Saturday because Saturday he wasn't there, but I was told that Jen Soto called him on Saturday and said, you need to get over here. But he didn't get there till Sunday. Now, a crime to remember, you say her diary was odd for a child of her age, but that's what I was saying. And everyone was saying that it wasn't her diary. So now I'm confused, folks. Is that her diary or is it not her diary? Because Grizzly True Crime says that's her diary. A lot of people say that's her diary. And Sergio, I'm with you. You know, I heard some dad bashing yesterday. Sergio says, I feel sorry for the dad family, praying for them all. I feel bad for Tyler Wallace, Tatiana Wallace, and the family. And I don't understand. I don't understand about dad bashing. I'm going to say parental alienation is one of the biggest reasons why he stopped being consistent in Maddie's life. And he was ran out of Florida and into Texas. Crime to remember says words were above the age that was written. She was 13, so it wasn't that bad. But is it hers or not? Was it hers or not? That's what I'm trying to get. The notebook appears to be Jen's writing out preparatory reasons for her receiving disability. That's what I'm saying too. But then there's little kid drawings of being assaulted. But it looked like Maddie. So this doesn't seem like there's a clear answer. I'm gonna have to go with Grizzly. I'm gonna have to go with what Grizzly says, and she's saying it's Maddie's, but I just don't know. All right, let's look through this real quick. Let me see if I can find anything else. But I also want to read some of the highlights there's a lot of pages, folks. A lot of pages that I'm not going to go over today, or you won't be able to hear the audio and go over everything with me. So, yeah, Jennifer Soto. If anyone wants to do a search on her, feel free to. Route Tracker says we'll know soon. Right. Late, but you made it. You're not that late, Liv Wade. We just started. Maurice, what's up? What's up? Australia. Miriam. Marsha Young, 13 with a learning disability, right? And I don't even think that she had a learning disability that much. I'm remember we know the roommate, the ex roommate, and she said Maddie nothing seemed to be wrong with her. She was not below average in anything. So Wendy Williams says guilty of crime. It reads like something she copied online. Maybe she was searching for info about what was happening. Yeah, I wish I had a clear answer. It does, but everybody's kind of back and forth. Rachel says, Aussie here too. What's up? And I missed a few things. You guys are Rachel Townsend. I think she had enough also. $2 super chat. Now, when I came in hot, I was telling you about Jennifer Soto letting Stephan Sterns teach Maddie how to fully engage in different kinds of adult acts. He taught her lots of things and also oral. So that being said, she probably had enough. I would have had enough as well. Maggie M, thank you for the $4.99 super sticker. You tell me if you think Maddie had enough, because I would have already had enough and wanted to chop his you-know-what off. So, all right, let's cover this a little more, and then I'll talk about the highlights. Yeah, this is a lot. Sorry, I'm in the wrong one. There's a lot on here. So, they've got some evidence. They got a DVR on here. And then, okay, so we know who these names are now. Incident report names I would like to look into further. Wow, I'm actually surprised they're not redacted. Definitely, absolutely not the words of a 13-year-old. Yeah, see, I was watching Grizzly and Plunder, and I really, really think it's Jen's. Okay. Well, you know what? Earlier I heard not Plunder. I heard Grizzly True Crime saying guilty of crime and calling out that I called her the queen of true crime. So yes, Grizzly True Crime. Yes, Grizzlies. I did say that Grizzly is the queen of true crime. You can go tell her. All right. So, Gothic Bree, you sent me a message. Let me take a look. Where's the message, Bree? Are you talking about your PDFs? Hold on. Let me see. So, Bria, I do have those two, but if you tell me what page what you're talking about. So we got the battery charges. We got all the CS, capital SA charges. I got that as well. A little confused, Brie, what you sent me. I got the change.org. All right. Well, I don't want to be confused on here. So Brie, okay, the name. I should have redacted some of it. Okay. Well, I'm going to keep going past this then, because you guys can get a hold of this yourself. But these people seem to be people that are on the report that are going to be on the, or in the witnesses. Okay. Melissa said, she said, no thing. Okay. Strategic thinks a journal is Maddie's as well. Well, that doesn't hold too much weight. Strategic has a lot of alternate theories than I do. So I think I'm going to go with Plunder or Grizzly, but okay. All right. Grizzly had a nap before your show, Jay. I was watching Grizzly take a nap. All right. Grizzly would see that order photos were taken and able to conclude whose belongings in journal was found in. Okay. All right. So let's look at this. I didn't know I shouldn't have showed those names, but I did. It's okay. Those are people from the witness list and the list, which I find very compelling to know who these people are. All right, so we're going into the incident report with Sterns. We're going into the property. We got a DVR, and I wonder what's on that DVR. He's arrested for homicide. I want to go over some of the things now. So on the PDF in the Maddie case on page 37, I should pull that one up because this one talks about Jennifer assumed law enforcement was looking into Stephan. Now, this is going to give you an alternate theory about Jen and her actually blaming Stephan, but her also saying that Stephan needs to get a lawyer and telling his dad that. So is she trying to get him out of trouble, or is she not trying to get him out of trouble? I don't understand. So I'm going to switch documents here in a second because I want to go over those. These are the 80 pages, and we had a lot of these before, but a lot of things were redacted. So, case supplemental report. And don't forget to hit the like. I see 302 people in chat, and I'm sure I don't have 302 likes, but you guys can help me by hitting the like. Arrest Jen Soto, absolutely. And one juror matters. She had crush on a boy at school. I don't even think Jennifer Soto understands. Well, let's talk about what Jennifer Soto understands then. I'm going to pull this down. I really wanted to show you about the asphyxiation so that you guys understand when people are asking what her cause of death is. Madeline Soto's. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to go with asphyxiation as the cause of death because it's on the supplemental report. It's on the report saying asphyxiation. It's not saying that it was the 9mm that did that. And hello, Emma Joy. It's not saying anything else. It's saying that it's asphyxiation. So Melissa says she doesn't understand anything. She should be in jail like Stephan. I agree. And we're going to get to that. Okay. So this is interesting. When the officer came, he's got his whole report. Oh, so he went to different doors and knocked on the door. This is a whole other report to get into. I'm going to stop sharing this so I can get into this document. All right. So we could talk about what Jen said and the highlights of this document. All right. Is this the one or did I go back to the same one? Okay. So this is the SA. This is the battery charges and the incident report. Let me see if I got this up. All right. So, wow, yeah, this is not good here. All right. Not good, folks. Not good. None of them are good, but all right. So now we know. If it wasn't clear, I think I might have just cleared it up for myself. You guys got it down. You got the fact so that we know that the COD cause of death for Madeline Soto is asphyxiation. Now, we talked it out before, and I think we talked about it maybe being a bloody crime scene. I don't think that's the case anymore. And hello, Stella. Thank you for coming in. Don't forget to hit that like. Everybody that comes in, hit the like. All right. Yeah, Maddie's parents Stephan's parents know that Maddie got her period and they know when, which is very intrusive. But it seems like Stephan Sterns openly talked about Maddie in that way. And almost like if he told them other things and alluded to the fact that he was assaulting her, folks. So what do you think about that? All right, let's talk about the report because you guys heard this probably from another channel. All right, so Jennifer assumed law enforcement was looking into Stephan. Now, this is on page 37 of this. This is a 52-page document. So this particular one isn't it, but I'm going to go over the highlights of this document, the 52-page one. If one of you guys has that, you can send it to me, the mods. It's a PDF and 52-page document where Jen says she wanted to believe that Stephan Sterns had nothing to do with Maddie going missing. Jennifer said once the police showed her the photographs, that is when she realized Stephan was guilty. The officer asked her what she thought, what Stephan was guilty of, and she replied, "He's been grooming and abusing my child." I asked Jennifer if she thought Stephan took Maddie's life, and he said, "At this point, I do." I asked her why she thought that, and she said we showed her a photograph of Maddie slumped over in Stephan's vehicle. Jennifer said she felt like Stephan dumped her body somewhere, but she didn't know where. I presumed Jennifer on where I pressured Jennifer where she thought Stephan would have dumped Maddie's body, and she kept saying she didn't know. Jennifer became upset and said she could tell us if she knew, but she wanted her child back. We arrived at Orange County Sheriff's Office where Jennifer was taken inside to be interviewed by Detective O'Malley and Detective Smallwood further. All right, I'm going to share this document while I'm reading it. Man, I don't know what the date is on this, and I'd like to go over I'd like to have that 52-page document, but I am going to highlight it right now. I can't believe anything Jen says either, but she is blaming it on Stephan, and she does go stay at the hotel with Stephan Sterns after that. Arrest Jennifer Lizette Soto. And I just hit 333, folks, in the chat. So please, let's say a prayer for Maddie. I hope we get complete and utter justice for Maddie. All right. Apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, you say. Stella, let me share the document I'm reading. So if you guys want to read along with me, we have all the time in the world for all these other reports. But for this, I want to make sure I get it out now so you guys can hear what I'm talking about and hear it from me. And we can try to clear it up together. Now, page 41 of 52 on the document, it says Chris and Stephan looked very stressed out on Saturday. Now, if Chris said Stephan looked very stressed out on Saturday, that was the evening before he went to Maddie's house. Chris said he felt that Stephan was more stressed out over something rather than upset at something, but had no idea what was stressing him out. All right. Now on 2/26 at 9:19, Jennifer's cell phone was physically removed from the wireless charger. This is consistent with her daily activities with removing the alarms, notifications, or snoozing the alarm. So we know 9:19 in the morning is when it says the alarms went off. There were several other messages that day between her and Stephan regarding Maddie. Now listen to this if you haven't heard this. Her and Stephan were messaging each other regarding Madeline sleeping in the same room together. There also were a lot of text messages between Stephan and Jennifer claiming that Stephan gave Maddie an extra dose of her medication when it was not necessary. So you guys have been speculating it with me about Stephan Sterns drugging Maddie. Some people were saying that he drugged Jen, but I think Jen drugged herself, folks. So he's talking to Jennifer Soto about sleeping in the bed with Maddie. There are numerous text messages about that. And then he tells her that he gave her an extra dose. Now, what brings to mind is when they see Maddie slumped over or they see her mouth open, her jaw open. I don't know about the overdosing, but there's a possibility, Avis, if he's over medicating her, and then asphyxiation. That's a lot easier to asphyxiate somebody it's easier to asphyxiate when someone's got too many meds when you're overdosing them. But they didn't say it was overdosing. They said it was asphyxiation. And he's saying in the text messages that he over medicated her. So it is disgusting, Carly. I agree. 157 of y'all need to show up. So hit the love, hit the like, show some love. All right, let's keep talking about this, folks. So it's hard to talk about, but you know what? I need you guys to know. I want you to hear it from me so that you're not hearing it from somewhere else. And at least you can come and chat with me. And I'm not embellishing on anything. I'm reading exactly what I see and I'm interpreting it exactly the way I see it and what you see. So I've seen a lot of interpretations and I don't know what the interpretations are about. It says what it says on here. All right. So on 410 at 14:53, Stephan calls Chris Sterns using inmate identification number. So now he's already arrested. And 12:57 into the call, Stephan tells Chris, "You know that I would have never wanted that for her." Now Stephan Sterns is talking to Chris, saying that he wouldn't want something for Maddie. And Stephan says, "I'm not sure really that any one person is specifically responsible." Now he's blaming. It sounds like he's given responsibility to him and Jennifer Soto. He says it's probably a combination of factors that led to it. Now I wonder if the combination of factors are the overdosing, the asphyxiation, the CSA or the SA, and the overtime of that, maybe being attacked, maybe he attacked her, maybe Jen did. He says, "I've never felt anything like that before. It was horrible." Chris tells Stephan that he hopes the truth will come out, and Stephan responds, "Well, yeah," as if he was dodging the statement. This call was downloaded and submitted to evidence.com. I hope we get a hold of that call, and I hope Grizzly or Plunder or one of those people get a hold of it. They already hopefully have something in for it. All right. Now I have highlights of this document, but I don't have this particular document. So I'm reading you the highlights. Justice for Maddie. Absolutely. Shaylin says, "Hi, crime crew. Late, but you're here. What's up?" All right. Maybe it's Maddie. Oh, you got to talk about the notebook still. Betsy, you should not have been removed. I don't know why your commenters were removed. Go ahead and put it back in there. It shouldn't be removed. All right. So it says nearly the end of the 52-page document, Will asked Jennifer if she knew that Madeline was being abused by Stephan prior to the interview at the Orange County Sheriff's Office, and she said no. This is from her. Jennifer said no. Jennifer Soto said she did not know that Maddie was being abused. Will, this is the officer, stated Jennifer texts Maddie's father about wanting her to be filmed underneath bathroom doors. Jennifer stated she had heard a story about someone filming in bathrooms on an airplane. What? Man, Stephan is just all the wrong things. All right. I'm quite new to YouTube, so I'm still learning. Okay, good. I'm glad you're learning. There's no way she didn't know. I agree. And Maddie's hyoid bone was broken, which indicates strangulation. Strangulation could be the same thing as asphyxiation. So when I do this with my hands, it doesn't mean that you have to do this or smother someone. Asphyxiation could be strangulation as well. So the hyoid bone, I think we're saying the same things, folks. We're definitely saying the same things. The COD could be strangulation, asphyxiation, smothering. They just put the one thing in there. So cause of death, more than likely, is asphyxiation, which it's written on the paper. Strangulation, lack of oxygen, the combination of the overdosing, maybe somebody attacking, but that's what they wrote in the document. All right. Now, Moore says, 1967 says Maddie started screaming. That is why he strangled her. Makes the most sense. There's so many things that make lots of sense on what happened. And overprotected 1111. Prayers for Maddie. Thank you for bringing in your 11111. All right. Yeah, if the hyoid is broken, then it's probably strangulation or throttle, you just came in, walk among the tombstones. I just said that it was asphyxiation on the report. So just to clarify that with you, since you're speculating and I want you to know. Another official document came out, says asphyxiation. I just said asphyxiation too. So asphyxiation could be strangulation, could be all of that. It's the same type of thing. It's like smothering, strangling, all that. All right. Jen said the abuse she went through wasn't evil. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're a little late to the party. And yeah, thank you. I don't want to be right, but yeah, part of the stuff he did with her plus over medicating Brenda P, right? All right, I'm going to keep reading to y'all. On April 22nd, 2024, this officer responded to FDLE, Florida. Sounds like Florida something law enforcement. I don't know what FDLE is, and they made contact with Agent Torres to retrieve the downloads from the USB drives and hard drive. Upon reviewing the data from the USB drives, one of the drives was empty and the other drive contained 35,000 images of child P. It did not appear that sex was in any of those images. Interesting. The hard drive was not used since 2020 and it did not contain anything of evidentiary value. Interesting. So one of them didn't. Now, here's what we're talking about: premeditated murder. On April 24th, this case was brought before a grand jury and Stephan Sterns was indicted of first-degree premeditated murder. All right. So there you go. There's a big giant premeditation for you. And Sherry, I agree. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about all that. We're going to talk about Jennifer Soto, demanding for a lawyer for Stephan Sterns. I mean, I did hear that she's the one that called Stephan Sterns' dad. I did hear that. She called him and said, you got to get down here. We do have a smart crime crew here, Jack Stormo. Everybody thinks so logically, and we don't make up crazy stories to get likes and subscribes. I don't anyway. I don't want to make up crazy stories. All right. I was watching a video today of her and her pretty blue garland, her dress with garland. Yeah, so sad, man. Essay of your own child is not evil. Yeah. I don't know. I heard that statement, and I'm not really sure. Yeah, DQ Jennifer Soto is evil. I agree. We're going to hear a lot more about her today. So let's keep going. There's an 80-page document on 57. It says, I asked Jennifer Soto to explain her and Stephan's sex life. Now, here's all you guys wanted to know about that. So we've been talking about, I wonder if Jen was even having sex with Stephan Sterns. I wonder how often they had sex, because now he's sleeping with Maddie and Jen Soto. Laura Riker says, Kat sent me. So glad I found you through Oblivious Benson. Thank you, Laura. So you did see me on OB's channel last night. I was caught off guard on that, but I stepped up. All right. So Lynn thinks it was rough sex. All right. Yeah, I agree. All right, let's keep going. I don't know if you guys wanted to know about Jen's and Stephan's sex life, but actually Jen described it as vanilla. So it's interesting that his sex life with Jen Soto was vanilla because he was having sex with the potato. So that makes sense. He's having sex with the potato and he is doing the same thing with her daughter. Very interesting. All right, let's talk about their sex life because from what I heard in the interviews, they were not even having sex the first year and a half. They were just friends, which I confirmed from the roommate. She told me they were just friends. Vanilla potato sex, right? Bev Taylor says, Jay, your thoughts about Jen Soto's comment about making Madeline Soto take hydroxine and Miralax every night. This filled her comments about talking about, yeah, that is exactly right, Bev. That is my comment. When I know how people tend to prepare for that, and that sounds like the thing that they do. Naomi, I hope you're still here. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Thank you for signing the petition for justice for Maddie. Let's arrest Jen Soto. Let's band together. Yes, arrest Jen Soto. Vanilla potato is right. All right. So they did have sex, everybody. They did. They were together, and in the beginning they didn't, and then later on they did. Now, we later spoke about the medication that she was taking. Jennifer stated Madeline was taking 20 milligrams of Adderall. That's quite a bit, actually. And then 25 of hydroxine, which is a sleeping medication, and anxiety medication, and Miralax for constipation. Oh, so bad, folks. So bad. I was just getting to that. So in the 80-page document on 58, Jennifer said when her and Stephan broke up, she could only think of a few times that Maddie slept with Stephan in a separate room. Jennifer said she didn't feel comfortable with Madeline sleeping with Stephan, and it didn't look right for her. No shit. Why didn't you stay with that? I asked Jennifer when she started feeling comfortable with it. She said she was never comfortable with it. I challenged Jennifer about telling them to go sleep together on 225, and she said it was a selfish move because she wanted a good night's sleep. So what do you think about that, folks? Do you think that in that selfish mood that Jen should be punished for that? I do. I think she should be punished for that. She's admitting that she did something in a selfish mood, and that means they should be very least questioned because they knew something about it. Yeah, she could be full of it all she wants, Veronica, but she's still taking accountability here, and they didn't arrest her for the neglect or for negligence, for anything, for lying, obstructing justice. Thank you. Neglect, endangerment, and obstructing justice, in my opinion. All right, Jennifer told Angelica that her and Stephan had not had a sexual relationship within the past 6 months. Well, then go send your daughter to bed with this guy, right? Jennifer was asked if Stephan has attempted to reach out to her since he was arrested. All right, here's the answer for you guys, folks, since people think they're going to find calls. All right, she knew it was messed up. She did, and she did it. She's the one that did it. All right, so it says that Jennifer was asked if Stephan had attempted to reach out to her since he was arrested, and she became too upset and said no, and it would be stupid if he did. Jennifer stated we asked about Stephan's sexual kinks, and she said she remembered last night that he had an anal kink. Ugh. Jennifer said she always refused when Stephan would want anal with her. Jennifer also remembered that Stephan would easily be angered and was very irritable and negative about things. Then why in the hell did you leave your daughter to sleep with him and fend for herself for years, Jen? Jen said Stephan would only get angry at Maddie over normal parenting things, or if Maddie didn't want to do what was asked of her. Jennifer stated she had given Stephan the benefit of the doubt when he told her that he had dropped her off at school. Jennifer said that Stephan is a master liar and a master manipulator, and she recently had this conversation with Chris, Stephan's father. Jen assumed law enforcement was looking into Stephan. Then why'd you go to the hotel with him, lady? Because he was the last person to see Maddie, and she wanted to believe he had nothing to do with her going missing. Wow, this lady's a piece of work, folks. She also obstructed justice and lied to the police after she had suspicion that Stephan was the last person. I think Jen needs her ass kicked. I'm down for that. Go get it, sweetie. Go get it. We don't promote that on here, but you know what? Lisa C says, oh my God, that poor girl. The more I hear, the more I demand this woman to be arrested. And good. I'm glad. Phelan, thank you for the membership for 3 months. She lies so much, no way she didn't know. Jojo, thank you for gifting the Guilty of Crime membership, folks. You guys are going to want to be in the membership crew because next week, I was going to do it tomorrow on Saturday, but I feel bad because Jojo can't be here. And Jojo's always gifting the beautiful memberships. So we're going to do a members live next week. Okay, we're going to do a members live of something really cool, something that I can tell you guys behind the scenes type of stuff, and I don't know what yet. What's up, Tech Bird? Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm glad you made it. We're 41 minutes in, but I feel like we just started. Get me on that evil potato, and boy, I'll get started. All right. Raminator, yeah. If I see Jen in the streets, right. All right. Let's keep going. Amy Craig, you're freaking amazing. You guys are all so amazing. You guys, all you have to do is engage with us in chat and then turn your gifting options on. And Amy Craig just gifted 5 Guilty of Crime memberships. So next week we can all hang out together and have the behind the scenes information. All right. Let's keep going. All right, so now Jennifer says that she ended the relationship because Stephan was a messy person. Now, we talked about Jennifer and Stephan and her having to go to Stephan's house to clean his room because it was a filthy pigsty. That was at the very beginning of the relationship. And then we have 7 years later or 5 years later, Jennifer said she didn't have a sexual relationship because her medications affected her sex drive. So hand your daughter over, right? Approximately a year ago, there was an incident where Maddie was upset due to having an argument with her mother, and she called Grandma Yolanda. At the time, Maddie explained that she was walking around the neighborhood due to being angry. However, she soon went back home after being told to do so by her grandma Yolanda. Yolanda stated she didn't like Stephan because he doesn't do anything, as in working. She said Jennifer doesn't want to be alone. So Jen sacrificed Maddie to not be alone. You guys have always been right in that, to know that she sacrificed and handed and traded her daughter to not be alone. Now, you think, I think so too, JC. Stephan Sterns is going to rat her out. Maybe it's why the cops are not arresting her. I hope that he speaks up and says that. I hope he says what happened because he has nothing to lose. He's already up shit creek. Good day, y'all. Jay, love, and peace after all this work and the horrors you prepare for us. Well, thank you. Thank you. Oh, man, you guys are too kind. Maurice, Australia. I love Australia. It's all the way across the world from California, gifting 5 Guilty of Crime memberships. You guys are just way too nice, man. Way too nice. We're going to have actually amazing members only show. Boom. Thank you. Congrats to the new members. Let's keep going. All right. Now you got to know why Yolanda didn't like Stephan Sterns, why Stephan Sterns wasn't allowed at the birthday party, why nobody liked him, why Jen didn't go. She was working, but she wasn't welcome. As long as she was with Stephan, she wasn't welcome. He wasn't welcome. So we got the incident where Maddie's fighting with Jen. She's walking around the neighborhood. Jen, another thing is, I asked Jen, the officer says, if she thought Stephan took Maddie's life, and she said, at this point, I do. I asked her why she thought that, and she said we showed her a photograph of Madeline slumped over, but she didn't know where. I presume Jennifer on where she thought Stephan would have dumped Maddie, and she kept saying she didn't know. Jennifer became upset and said she would tell us if she knew because she wanted her child back. Oh my God, this lady. I placed a telephone call to Jen to let her know what we had located, or that we had located Maddie and that she was deceased. Oh, wow. She actually had emotion, folks. Jennifer started to cry over the phone and handed the phone to her father to continue the conversation. I told them that I'd be in touch with the family in the next day or two. Now, her dad is Juan. Juan is the one that owns the condo that paid for it. Stephan Sterns did not live there or go there like that, like he was when Juan was there. He didn't move in until after Juan moved out. Jen took over Juan's room that was downstairs. Oh, man. All right, so I can't wait till we get some audio for this. Veronica, I'm very surprised that she finally showed emotion too. And Bev Taylor says, whoever gifted me the membership, thank you. And I'll thank you for either JoJo, Amy, or Maurice that gifted the membership, because those are the people that gifted the membership, and we appreciate you. I'm sure all of you guys appreciate them. Yeah, puffing away. Jennifer Soto's referring to her stepdad. Oh, is she referring to her stepdad? Okay, I was wondering if Juan was back in town. Thank you for telling me that. Marilyn McCrae, so it was her stepdad. Okay, so on March 2nd at approximately 1,000, it says hours, Detective Smallwood and I responded to the medical examiner's office for Maddie's autopsy. The autopsy was performed by Dr. Stephan Giles. Prior to the autopsy, I examined Maddie's body when it was initially uncovered. I noticed her socks were clean on the bottom, which confirmed my observations that when she was located in St. Cloud, during the autopsy, Dr. Giles expressed concern over the hypoid bone in Madeline's neck. Dr. Giles stated the right portion of the bone was not intact, which could possibly be related to her being strangled. Dr. Giles listed the initial outcome of the autopsy as pending. All right, folks, if you guys were even hesitant about the cause of death, and thank you, Petty Mason Deb, for gifting a Guilty of Crime membership. You guys are amazing tonight. You're on fire. I'm sure the Guilty of Crimers crime crew will be excited. Graciela Gonzalez, thank you for gifting a Guilty of Crime membership. I guess you'll be at the members only next week. All right, this is horrible, but we now know that Madeline Soto was asphyxiated or strangled. It wasn't smothering. It was some kind of something not very easy to do. It would be a little bit easier if you were on a lot of medication. And see you later, JoJo. I think you said you got to go. She was overly medicated. So let's hope that a little bit of hope that, let's hope that Maddie was a little bit more relaxed or a little bit more passed out, because I cannot imagine strangulation takes anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes, folks. It's not a good way to go, man. And nothing's a good way to go, but On Fire Friday, right? This brings up so many emotions for me, folks. I can't. It's so hard. Like, it's just so. All right. Hi, Jay and chat. Love this group and keep up your amazing efforts, Jay. Thank you, New Orleans Proud. I love New Orleans too. Man, I want to go eat that food again. All right, let's keep going. This is definitely tough. Why hasn't the family given a statement? Well, the family is kind of hiding Jen right now. They're staying out of it is disgusting. They're staying out of the spotlight and they're not giving interviews. Pressure to the neck, throat area, right? And I pray that she didn't suffer in death either. I agree. I really do hope she was overly medicated rather than the alternative. I know that sounds awful, but I think they ought to put her in jail too, Sherry McDonald. JC, I'm just as pissed off as you, and I feel so bad for Maddie right now. Oh, okay. The family is warped, and I agree. I wish they would stop hiding her. And Steven says that bitch is insulting our intelligence. That's why we're so upset, right, Steve? I think that's why we're so upset. Marisa, why did he take her life? Well, if it takes 3 to 5 minutes to asphyxiate or strangle someone, you gotta have some anger behind you. There's gotta be some kind of anger, folks. Something, and they call it premeditated. So were there text messages? How do they find it premeditated? Because he went down there after not being there for a couple months. What makes it premeditated? Marcy, $4.99 super sticker. You guys are on fire today. You guys are bringing it. Thank you for supporting my channel. That's what makes me be able to be on here, by supporting my channel and helping me to get through this and put the time in. Thank you. What's up, Jamie Ferrero? Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. I think she had outcry that night, and Yolanda told Jen, who told Sterns. Maybe. Let's call her, send letters. Did you sign the petition to arrest Jen Soto? All right. So we're talking about the hyboid bone. I said already right. So it says that now we know this cause of death was strangulation or asphyxiation, which stated on the report of the autopsy. All right. It says pending, but all right. So we got page 75. We're skipping through this document. In 2022, Mary Ellie and Stephan were in a brief, intimate relationship. During that relationship, Mary Ellie, who invited Stephan to spend the night with her at her house, but Stephan would refuse. Stephan told Mary Ellie, or whatever, Marilee, I'm saying it wrong, Marilee, that he needed to stay at Jennifer's house because Jen and Maddie could not sleep without him there. He further explained specifically Madeline would not sleep if he wasn't there, and advised he would sleep in the bed with Jen and Maddie. Marilee displayed her discomfort. And you remember when I told you that at the beginning of this, when the ex-roommate lived there, all three of Maddie, Stephan, and Jen would sleep in that bed and just be there for hours and days. I'm breathing. Sweetie, I got it. All right. Mel says, I think he was jealous because Maddie told him he had a crush on a boy. I think there's a possibility of that. Maybe premeditation comes in with the text messages that we see go into Maddie. Or maybe we see him being angry somewhere else. Or maybe they see something in the imagery. Maybe he got a picture of him choking her. Maybe he was choking her and taking snaps in it. Maybe premeditated because he medicated her prior to her life, and he could have just snapped in reaction to her fighting back. I agree. You're right. You're absolutely right. Jennifer Soto is not right. You're 100% right on that. All right. Let's keep going. This is crazy. Oh, okay. I'm breathing. All right. So of the sleeping situations, but Stephan continued to live and stay with Jennifer and Madeline. Marilee ended their relationship not long after finding out this information. I asked Marilee about their intimate relationship. So her and Stephan Sterns. She disclosed that Stephan had a tough time having an erection. Marilee described that one very weird occasion where Stephan had her lay face down completely flat as if she were dead and then have intercourse with her. Now, you guys know that I know Ted Bundy, right? You know that I know Ted Bundy, and Ted Bundy did that with his girlfriend as well. He told her to lay flat and play dead so that he can have sex with her. Otherwise, he couldn't get an erection. Yeah. So Ted Bundy also did that. Was this a Ted Bundy in the making? This is an awful, awful thing. The question is, what about Jen knowing what was in room number 4, the tripod? Great show, Jay. Thank you. She knew that the gun was in room 4. Did she not see the tripod? Did she not see the loop? Did she not see his boxers hanging out there? Well, yeah, Sabrina, that's part of it, but also those sick guys can't get like excited without sick fantasies too. And Jen was with that guy that was into sick fantasies. So Marilee's telling us that Stephan Sterns told her to lay face down completely flat and act as if she was dead. Ted Bundy did that. Marilee said that that was the only time that he was very erect when she laid face down like she was dead. I asked Marilee if Stephan ever disclosed being sexual with Maddie, but he never did. See full audio for further details. All right, I can't wait to get the audio. I don't have that, but I can't wait. Yeah, he can't get it up. It's funny, but it's not funny because she knew that all that stuff was in that room, and Jen Soto had to have known about his kinks. So on Tuesday, February 28th, as Stephan slept, Jennifer began making phone calls to the national hotline for missing and exploited children about Maddie. Jen also contacted local news stations to put information out to the public. Soon after, news reporters came to Jennifer's residence and completed an interview with both Jennifer and Stephan. These are the infamous interviews, folks. These are the interviews where we see Jen just being out of sort. All right, so Detective Hunt responded to Jennifer's residence for follow-up interviews with Jen and Stephan. Detective Hunt received consent from Stephan to review his cell phone. During this, Jen and Stephan were inside her vehicle outside her residence because the residence was secured pending a search warrant. Jen stated as they were waiting in her vehicle, Stephan became very anxious and very panicky because he wanted his cell phone back. Jennifer eventually gave him her phone. Remember when they were at the interview and he handed the phone back, and then he started trying to log into his emails, but was unsuccessful due to a 2A authentication issue. I asked Jen what the conversation was like between her and Stephan while they waited in her vehicle, which she stated they discussed how law enforcement was focusing on Stephan. The wrong guy, she said. From there, Jen and Stephan contacted Chris Sterns, his dad, to notify him on the situation and to ask for assistance with the hotel for the night. They then met Chris at the hotel by Disney, where they stayed for the night. All right, this gives a little bit better of a time frame and a backstory, and to understand what's going on in Jen's mind, what she's lying about, what we think she's lying about, what she's saying. Jamie, I can't agree with you more. I cannot agree with you more. I don't think Stephan Sterns is going to trial. I think eventually he will plea. I don't think he has an option to plea, Lorraine. I don't think he's going to get an option. Many times they don't have an option. There's no plea on the table for something like that. If police officers don't give him a plea, there's no plea. Now, if police officers say they want to avoid trial because they don't want the images to get out and they don't want to have to go through this again, then they won't have a trial. All right? Mommy moo. All right. Say it's a tragic case. It is. Strangulation is compression of the anatomical neck structures leading to asphyxia. Well, asphyxia was what was written on the report. So asphyxia is what they said the COD is. Now, we haven't seen the report, but we saw that report. All right. He's literally caught red-handed. No plea for him. Do not give Ted Bundy Jr. a plea. Please do not give him a plea. He was continually going back. Oh, you think that's what he was doing to do that to her body? Sabrina says that. Oh, so many red flags. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so we read about February 28th, them being in the car outside, Jen and him contacting her dad. I think it was Jen that contacted Chris and said they need assistance for a hotel room. Okay, then they met Chris at the hotel where they stayed for the night. On Wednesday, February 29th, Jen and Stephan met with detectives at the Orange County Sheriff's Office for a press conference. Jennifer eventually learned that Stephan left the hotel Tuesday night and traveled back to Northport for unknown reasons. Now, the unknown reasons that we now know, is that he was visiting Maddie's body or the dump site. Now, somebody in chat, there are people in chat speculating that he was doing necrophilia things. That I don't know. I don't know if they're going to ever confirm that. Mummy Moo Moo says, thank you to all the crime YouTubers that are going through all this upsetting material to bring it to us. It must be hard on you all. Yeah, this is not an easy case. So thank you for supporting the channel. Please hit the like button. It looks like you like what we're presenting, or you like what I'm presenting. You like our chat. You're happy with that. So please hit the like button. Hit the like. Hit the subscribe, share. K Ren. Yes, someone could share the petition with you. And now, Emma, you're right. Good gosh, I hope not. But that again, yeah, the sex doll he had in his closet. All right, so I'm going to share the petition with you real quick. I'll put that down in chat. And we have 447 people. We've had over 500 people just hit that like button. Jay, I don't even know what that means. What does what mean? I'm confused. What means? Necrophilia? All right. Ho, can she still think SA is not evil? She does not. I don't know about her not saying Stephan Sterns is not evil. I think that might have been taken out of context, but oh, the Sean Finnegan case, that one's, he got the death penalty for that. He cut that poor girl's nose off and did unthinkable things. But today we're talking about Maddie, so we'll get into Sean Finnegan another day. You're welcome, K Ren. All right, let's keep going. All right, so Stephan visited Maddie's body several times in Northport, Florida for unknown reasons. Throughout the interview, Jennifer Soto continues to deny any involvement in the disappearance of Madeline. She also denied any knowledge of SA identity that she was suffering. And then we have full audio for further details. I think the audio is going to come out soon, and we're going to hear her denying that Maddie was suffering from being assaulted over and over for years. Now, on May 14th at 14:03 hours, Stephan made a phone call to his dad, Chris. Chris puts the call on speakerphone so Stephan can speak to him and his wife at the same time. Deborah told Stephan someone put on YouTube that he was at Maddie's party. Oh, guys. Stephan states that he had not made it there in time and everything was good after he got to the house. 8 minutes and 32 seconds into the call, Stephan states there's no reason for anything, there is no reason for anything that happened. So he's saying that he didn't go to the party. It got on Court TV, showed that. Court TV did show that Stephan Sterns was in a balloon, like in a shit, like we can see a reflection on the balloon, folks. And it wasn't true. I think someone photoshopped that. I actually shared that. And Jamie, Robert Tejas, I think Robert Tejas is guilty, Jamie. Thank you for checking in with me. All right. Since Cerberus is 444, we now have 454, but please hit the like. All right. So Chris then asked Stephan about the events because Stephan said nothing that happened should have happened of 228, meaning why did Stephan drive to Northport, Florida? Why did he go back? Why did he go there ever? Stephan stated, so Northport was where he went home real quick for like 10 minutes and just ran in the house. He says he wanted to grab a few things and get my ducks in a row, kind of prepare myself for whatever was coming, but I couldn't find what I was looking for. This is during the time Stephan tried logging into his Google account using his parents' Wi-Fi, but was unsuccessful. It is believed that Stephan was attempting to log into his Google account to delete the images and videos of the CSA abusing Maddie. Chris tells Stephan he wished they could understand how this whole situation came out, and Stephan replies, well, I didn't start it. Chris told Stephan he participated in it, and Stephan says, yeah. At no point during the conversation did Stephan deny that he murdered Maddie. I probably should have said unalived, but I've already said a bunch of stuff. All right, y'all. All right. Now we're going to listen to some audio. I can't even believe we're an hour and 3 minutes in. No one should be touched, especially a child. And Jen Soto should have protected Maddie. Jen said the abuse Madeline went through by Stephan wasn't evil. All right. I know that I heard that today. I'm not sure where that particularly came from, but let's listen to some of the audio, everybody. now that I went through all this stuff. Let's see if you guys can hear this. Let me know. We're going to listen to this one together. I'm going to give you feedback. Let's make sure you can hear it. Can you guys hear this? Yes? No? Can you hear it? Hey, mods, can you guys hear this? You can't hear anything? What? Damn it. All right, hold on. That's not good. Not good, not good. My VLC player is not working. 1 second. That's not good, not good. Let me try a different way. Let me make sure that's not. I didn't want to share it this way, y'all.
No, go ahead.
So we were initially gonna go ahead and use.
Can you hear this now?
Kind of slow down on that aspect. We want to make sure we're doing this all the right way. Understood. To do what's best for her and to make sure that we're above board on everything. So while we greatly appreciate your cooperation, we're not gonna force entry in there right now. Does your wife ever go to the storage unit?
Does she what?
Ever go to the storage unit?
No. No, she's never been to that storage unit.
How does he know the code to your code to the storage unit? Is it written down somewhere?
No. So I was thinking about that earlier. So there's another incident here. So I get a call from the storage unit 2 or 3 weeks ago telling me that they were running an audit of the units because there was going to be an inspection or something, and my unit wasn't properly locked. So
Okay.
the way it works is that you've got this slide mechanism, unlock it and then unbolt it from the hinge. And then you have to push it back and then insecure it in one of the 2 holes. And they said it wasn't properly locked and they had flagged it. And
All right, folks, I have it turned up as loud as possible. It doesn't go any higher, so turn your volume up a little bit. I'll try not to yell at you when I'm talking. I have it all the way up. Let me know if it's okay once you turn it up a little bit.
I need to get over there and fix it. So I went over there, opened it up, looked at it, everything's fine, and then locked it properly. And I'm going to say maybe there's a 50-50 chance I did that, but I'm pretty anal about it. And so I don't know.
A 50-50 chance you did what? What do you mean?
Pardon?
A 50-50 chance you did what?
I may not have locked it properly, or maybe now that I'm aware that he possibly had a key to it, that he went into the unit.
Okay.
But
All right, so we're now talking with the parents. We're going over the audio with the parents, talking about Stephan Sterns, and the storage unit. I don't know what was in the unit yet. I know there was a computer in there, and the computer, the Stephan Sterns' dad, Chris, didn't want anything to do with. So let's listen to this together. It's Friday, y'all. We're chilling. We're hanging out. I'm presenting information. We're chatting. I'm answering questions. All right. It's just a dad right now. That's fine. All right. It's just a dad. We're going to listen to this because this is the latest that we have out. It's cops tell Chris Sterns that Stephan Sterns has been arrested. All right. So we're going to listen to this right now and then we'll go over more. This one's 22 minutes and 5 seconds. I've got much more.
nothing out of the ordinary.
Has he ever gone to the unit to help you with something and you gave
Oh,
him
he's helped me
something?
load it up, yeah.
Okay. So he could have the
Well,
code
no,
for that.
Maybe he observed me punch it in the code,
Okay.
which is pretty devious on his part.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
How long did it take you to get up here last night?
pretty good time.
When you say pretty good time,
There's no traffic,
so what
none
was
on 75 and nothing on, so I think I got up here I'm definitely under 3 hours, but I would say at least 2.5 hours. Trying to figure out where we were going to stay because had no idea. So we found the place out there off of Western Parkway. So I think I left around midnight and got up here 2:45-ish.
right. Well,
I could pinpoint it exactly just by looking at what time.
That's all right. That was kind of just
just a ballpark because we don't go down to Northport at all. Well, so we've been all very straightforward with each other. You've inferred several times that you suspect there's more going on. We did do a release. Your son has been arrested for sexual battery.
What?
Your son
What?
was arrested for sexual battery.
All right, folks, do you really think that he's that surprised? JD Lures, I wouldn't be surprised if Jen was abusing Maddie even before Stephan came into their lives. I also think Jen offered Maddie up in the way that he's answering these things and saying it wasn't just him and he didn't think about it, like it was something else or someone else. I think that she made suggestions that were, offering to let him sleep with Maddie, and I don't know. I really do think that her involvement is deeper than this, and of course she's gonna put it off on him. He didn't seem surprised at all. Lauren, Wisconsin. Nope, he's not surprised. Stephan is known to go after young girls since he was young. Right. Okay, let's keep listening. I want to look for some other things to pick you up. Why aren't you playing? Oh, sorry.
Okay. And that's where we're at with this investigation right now.
Obviously, it wasn't Jen, but
so it's still active, so we won't get into who the
Yeah.
victim is. But I mean, you've done this job before. I think you could reasonably infer where we're at.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why things are going to slow down a little bit.
understand.
We're
Slow the pace
gonna
down.
we're slowing the pace down just a little bit. In that regard, not necessarily in the regard of trying. Okay, so we're going to be, executing a search warrant down there at the storage unit. There's no reason to break the lock. We're just going to go take a look.
So you need me there with the key to let you.
All right, so I actually wanted to play the one where Stephan Sterns' mom and dad think Jennifer Soto caught Madeline. What does that mean? Made a pact with Stephan, and then Jen demands a lawyer for Stephan. So I can play that one. Have you guys heard this one yet? I don't know if you heard the one I'm playing, but the dad definitely doesn't seem like he was surprised at all. And I know you guys are saying the police interview with his parents was very intense, very telling, right? Yeah, I don't know how long. I don't know if we can't listen to the whole hour and 44, but I think I'm gonna go into that one. Let me stop this one. I had it queued up and I put the wrong one, and then my player's not working, the one I wanted to. All right, let's
There we go, that's better. Was that that thing? Well, all right, I'm gonna turn my phone on. I may fix a cup of coffee. I'm always thirsty these days. Lucy, we're both on diets. We're taking, she's taking Ozempic, I'm taking Mounjaro. And I've lost nearly 40 pounds.
Wow.
28.
And but I just have to keep hydrated all the time. It just always thirsty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for meeting with us this morning.
Our pleasure.
This has been a long few days, long week, and I can imagine what it is for you guys.
Full of lots of surprises.
Yeah.
We're in the 7th ring of hell.
So the reason we made the trip down here today is I know you spoke to Alex, I think.
Yeah, Alex, yeah.
Yeah, with Orange County, and may have spoke to Corporal Ilgen that works with us.
Is he this tall, slim guy?
No,
Was
he's
he at Orange County
bald.
also?
He was. I think you may have talked to him out in the parking lot in Orange County.
Yeah.
Bald guy, probably wearing a SWAT shirt.
No, that didn't work. That didn't. There was somebody else I thought was from Kissimmee PD, but
Mm-hmm.
and I thought actually you were him, but obviously not.
So
Now, I'm thinking the parents definitely suspected something, folks, because they talk about it often and they talk about Jen being part of it as well. So, how would they know about part of it or any of it or some of it? There's an awful Christine. I'm going to say Christina as people who have nothing to hide, hide nothing. There's an awful lot being hidden in this case. Everyone involved failed Maddie. Hashtag justice for Maddie. Hashtag arrest Jen Soto. All right, let's keep going. We're going to listen to this for a while together. There's over 470 people in chat. Since I have you and I have your attention, this is what we're doing together on a Friday. Thank you for being here.
You're gonna look at his.
I appreciate it. But since I'm the lead detective and he's my partner in the case, we kind of want to get eyes and talk to everybody that's involved. That's the only reason. So the reason we're here is basically try to get a background of what you know about Stephan and Jennifer's relationship and that sort of thing and stuff like that. So we can do it one of two ways. I can just give you guys the floor and you can let us know what their dynamic was, or I can do it question and answer wise, whatever's more comfortable for you.
Well, if you do it.
All right, so this is gonna be good. We're gonna get into this. These parents are very enabling. They enabled him his whole life, and now we get to hear more about this. If you haven't already heard it, or you have, you're gonna hear it again. You say the reason Jen might not be getting charged is she might be on the wrong dose of antidepressants, which causes her to disconnect. Well, makes her sleep a lot, but that's not. I think she's going to be charged with something soon. Tara, thank you for watching. Please hit the like button since you came in here. Don't forget to also subscribe. All right, let's chat and listen.
Question and answer wise, you'll get the answers that you wanted. If you let us sit here and ramble on for half an hour, you may not get what you want. You still have to ask the question.
Fair enough. Fair enough for me.
We can fill in the gaps.
Yes.
All right. So, any idea how long Stephan and Jen have been in a relationship?
7 years.
7 years.
Crazy.
7 to 8 years, somewhere in there.
Okay. And was it constant throughout those 7 and 8 years, or on and off, or?
They were friends first,
Remember?
close friends first, and then it evolved into a romantic relationship. I think probably the first 18 months was just friendship, and then it changed from there. And no,
He did.
we did not like the relationship.
Why not?
Didn't approve of her.
Why
She was
is
a
that?
bad influence on it because of her,
Yes.
drugs plus I think
Drugs.
she was taking medications for depression, anxiety, what have you, and I just didn't feel that she was
Of
going to be a
course.
good influence for him.
She's bipolar. She's bisexual. She's a drug addict. She had a young child. The family was disapproved.
All right, y'all. I gotta call this out because I'm very proud to say that we had a lot of this information before it ever came out, and I'm happy to have this confirmed. I told you guys from the get-go she was bisexual, that they slept together all in the same bed, and a lot of other dynamics of the family of Stephan Sterns and Jen Soto of the three. Thank you, Naomi, for the $5 super sticker. You guys are so amazing tonight. Yeah, Emma Joy, she is bisexual. I told you guys that from the beginning because her roommate told me that in all the interviews that we had. And Jen had taken Maddie to some of the gay prides. She went out there. Also, they all slept together, which we thought would be like maybe something was going on between all three of them. Yeah, I did. I definitely called that. I knew it like way in the beginning when I had the roommate on here. Now, the bisexual, the reason that matter, it doesn't really matter, and the parents shouldn't care. It matters if she had kinky tendencies or she put Maddie in a bad predicament because of it. That's why it matters. That's why it matters, Jamie. All right, let's go.
And she was sharing those drugs with Stephan. And I don't approve of vaping. We don't do any drugs. We don't even drink.
No
I can't
vaping.
even take specified medication for pain because my body rejects them, and I get really, really sick from them. So, I mean, went through open heart surgery on Tylenol.
Wow.
So it's
And they were
She's
both,
nice. She's nice. She's,
they slept all the time.
Yeah.
And, you know, we had a hard enough time dealing with Stephan sleeping all the time, and now he's got a relationship with somebody else that does it as well. It's just like they were feeding off of each other, and none of it in a positive way. And that's why I disapprove of a lot of Stephan's
well, that's the only
people.
thing, yeah, only thing her mother and I approved of together was the fact that we didn't approve of the relationship, because if Jen started spiraling down one of her holes of depression, she took Stephan with him.
Mm-hmm.
If he was depressed, he brought her in. And it was just always like a balancing act with those two. It's not good. It's not a good dynamic.
You know, when you
They're
said
trying to blame-
they were always sleeping like constantly,
Yeah.
were they taking medicine to go sleeping, or they were just?
They were faked out.
Well, Stephan has a sleeping disorder, sleep apnea. So he's been tested for it, and his he would be up all night and sleep all day, type of deal. And we really didn't have that much physical interaction with them.
Mm-hmm.
These are things that we just observed from a distance, and you know, trying to talk to Stephan at times, but we just really didn't have any social activity with him to speak of.
Yep.
When Stephan would be here in town, like what would his routine be? Is he a homebody, or?
He locked himself in his room, and we would see him maybe, you know, once in a while, tell him dinner's ready, but he was constantly in his room all the time.
He was painting his little minis for Warhammer.
Okay.
He spent a
Obsessed with
lot
all
of
that
time
stuff.
doing that. A lot of time learning the new books as they came out. A lot of time online. He did go play Warhammer with the guys once a week. Tried to get him to go to the beach. Tried to get him to go to church. Tried to get him to go shooting with us.
I'm sorry that you can't hear it. I got it as loud as I can. Let me turn it up a little bit. Yeah, there's no closed caption on this. Unfortunately, it's an audio file. I'm sorry.
No.
Did he give an excuse why that he wouldn't
Just
want to
didn't
go?
feel like it.
Just no motivation.
And he walked around with Jen on the phone on FaceTime all the time. I would be in the kitchen. I would look up and I would see Jen. And she's like, and I look at her and her eyes are on. I said, Jen, are you baked? And she says, oh, yeah. I'm like,
And this
Really?
is recently or throughout
that
the
was in
years?
the last few weeks, yeah.
Okay.
He wasn't. I brought him back in December because I was supporting him living there, and I didn't know that I was supporting the whole family.
Mhm.
Again, Stephan's great at omitting information, not being transparent with me, and I just reached a point and said, I can't afford to have you working for Disney,
Mhm.
and there's always a deficit in his budget for one reason or another, but somehow he had expensive toys and what have you. Where the money came for that, he didn't even after he arrived here. Packages were arriving. I said, well, I'm not giving him any money. Where the hell is it? Stephan, it's money I saved, and I'm sitting here going, Bohica. You know what Bohica is? It's an acronym. Bend over, here it comes again.
Mhm.
And, you know, he called me up and said, well, I'm short in funds. Can you, Zell me $150, send him that. But meanwhile, now he's telling me he's got money in savings, which I didn't believe.
Mhm.
So where the money was coming from, I have no idea. But these packages just kept arriving.
When you would support him, how would you get him money?
I sell it,
Okay.
and I paid him. Juan charged Jen rent, and then in November of 2022.
Okay, this is really good to hear about this backstory. He's talking about Juan. This is the first time I've heard about Juan at all in any of these interviews. So Juan was charging rent to them, and now they're getting into this whole backstory, which is really good to hear this. Yeah, spending his daddy's money on tripods and lube and a gun. He had a gun. He had, obviously he had the weapon and bullets, which aren't cheap. I wonder if he went shooting or what he did. Sleep apnea is where you stop breathing when you sleep. I wish Jen and Stephan had it, and it took them both out. They were subhuman God forgive me, but I hate them, right? I agree. I hate to even think or say now Maddie is no longer suffering, but she was only 13. We shouldn't have to say that. Yeah, he sleeps all day because he's abusing Maddie at night. Disgusting.
The reason why I know that because I looked it up the other day. I said, how far back have I been paying rent there? But he started charging Stephan rent, even though he was sharing a room with Jen. And then they decided that they weren't going to be in a relationship anymore, and he took over a full room, and now I had to pay $600. And so this just kept escalating. He wasn't taking care of his car. You know, I was waiting for that shoe to drop. So finally, I said, I can't afford you to live there anymore, and I moved him back here. And I thought we had hoped that the year that he had spent at Disney, that he had matured and was now, you know, accepting responsibility and had a disciplined routine, and that I could bring him back here and help him maybe develop into something with a better career path than working for Disney forever and not getting anywhere, because at $30,000 a year, he couldn't support himself if he wanted to live on his own.
Right.
And that turned out to be a huge disappointment because he fell right back into his same MO. You know, locked himself in his room, you know, wouldn't help us around the house. And we were like on eggshells because when he was here, it was always tension because of his sleep disorder, and the dogs obviously are not the quietest things.
Right.
And, you know, they have their routine. We have our routine. So we let them out in the evening and it's chaos with them. We let them out in the morning, it's chaos. But for the most of the time, they're at feeding time. They're quiet, you know. But again, that would disturb him and didn't want to cause a flare up with them.
So when it would disturb him with the dogs, was that during the daytime or was him trying to sleep at night?
Oh, it could be any time.
Oh, okay.
If anybody comes to the door, get a package, a rat farts in the yard, doesn't matter, they hear it.
So if he's sleeping during the day and we're doing our daily routine, you know, there's going to be distraction. If I come in the house, they're going, hey, I'm home. You know, they'd be a lot harder.
Right.
So, but you know, I would just hope that, you know, he was soundly sleeping and that he would just sleep through it. But occasionally you would hear a bark out from him.
Or if he had his headphones on.
Yeah.
So when you said you brought him back in December, do you remember?
Man, they're talking about him like he's a child, everybody. And I do think that they had a pretty good suspicion, not only that he was assaulting Maddie in a sexual way, but I think Stephan probably told his dad something when he came down to the hotel. He knew that he was going to get arrested. I think he wants to share the blame with Jen, and I do hope that he speaks up. I do hope that he speaks up and implicates Jen in this and tells the police, or even if it's through his lawyer, tells the police that that Jen offered Maddie up to him. She's the one that presented the idea, maybe, or, you know, whatever it is. I think that she definitely needs to be implicated, but I think it's going to have to be by him. If they're not finding information on her phones, or on her phone, or they don't have any hard evidence to arrest her, that's odd to me with all the evidence. So, Stephan Sterns, please speak up.
When first part of December, end of
I had to
December?
look up, it'd be early part of December because I was trying to get him out of there. I thought it was the end of November. It could have been at the very end of November or the very first part of December because I didn't want to owe Juan another month's rent. I wanted them out of there.
Did he mention if they were split up at that time or if they were still?
Well, they were supposed to be officially broken up.
Did he ever say why they broke up?
They just, well, I mean, yes and no. I mean, Jen told me as recently as last week, she didn't want him as a partner. She realized that he was not going to be a good partner, but I assume that they both recognized that they wanted to go their separate ways. And I would say that occurred several months before, because there was one time he mentioned he was socializing with somebody at Disney, and that didn't that didn't go over well or something. She didn't like that. So
I told him, we both told him he would never get into a healthy relationship until he got away from her, because what are you gonna do? You're renting a room, you're gonna bring a new woman into your room with your ex in the next room?
Right.
I mean, that's a bad recipe.
Did this ever happen within the last 7 years? Did they break up and get back together and that sort of thing? Or
I think so.
I seem to recollect that there was, there might have been a pause in that relationship, maybe to the extent of how involved the relationship was. Maybe it became more social than more of a relationship type of thing. But again, clueless as to exactly the extent of how involved the relationship really was. I mean, I always thought it was just good friends and sex with benefit type of thing. But I don't know how committed they were to one another.
and that was going on all the way up until December.
Well, actually,
You think?
before December, because like I said, when he went into the room on his own, that basically was probably the time that the relationship ended. So,
Do you remember when that was? You said November?
Yeah, I'm going to try to, let's see. He left in December, maybe 3 or 4 months before he pulled out of there. I think only paid 3 or 4 months at 600, maybe 3 months. I'd have to look it up.
Do you know if when he came back here in December, was he ever making trips back to Kissimmee at all?
There was, I think, 3 occasions he went back. This last trip, with when all this stuff happened, a trip before that, and then he went back for Thanksgiving, or he was there for Thanksgiving. So
Thanksgiving and Christmas.
yeah, so he wasn't invited to the family events, and but he was there at that time.
Okay. I'm assuming just visiting Jen, or was he visiting other people?
He was visiting Jen.
Yeah, I wouldn't know who else he would be associated with at that time.
Okay.
No.
I don't think he had any relationships outside of Jen. Maybe I think there was a time or two he mentioned that he was going to go out with some cast members after work. But
Bear was one of them.
But that's the only time.
Has he ever lived in Kissimmee prior to meeting Jen?
No.
No. Okay. Always here in Northport, or has he lived elsewhere?
Well, we moved here.
Windermere.
We moved here May of 2020, so he was always at our home there, or he lived here then.
Okay.
We finally got him out of here, and there was an opportunity for him to go live in Kissimmee.
Okay. But with Jen is when he went to Kissimmee.
Yeah, not on his own.
They were both supposed to be working at Disney together, but she can't keep a job
Do you know why?
because of the bipolar.
Well,
She doesn't want to lose her state benefits.
but depending on the type of work, she had back issues or something, so she couldn't do physical things. And now she did have a job as a concierge that didn't require any pressure or stress on her back or something. But there was always something that prevented her from working. Couldn't do dog sitting, or whatever.
You know what's interesting is that they're focusing on Jen Soto. It doesn't make me mad that they're focusing on Jen Soto. And I see some people in chat, or I see a person or two in chat saying Jen just took her medicine. She wasn't an addict. But an addict can be that of somebody that has prescription pills and abuses them. So, I mean, I think Stephan was also abusing the prescription pills, and he was taking Maddie's Adderall from what we were told. Yeah, they're definitely deflecting Veronica, but I would really like them to get solid evidence on Jen Soto, and I'd like to hear something about it. I'd like to hear them say, well, Jen said this, or I don't know what I'm expecting out of this, but they are blaming a lot on Jennifer Soto.
Job it was, it lasted no more than 2 weeks, and then she
And she was going to go to school for nursing. And I'm thinking, oh my God, save the world.
Well, then she was going to get into graphic design.
Oh yeah.
Dad bought her an Apple computer, thinking she was going to take these classes or online, and that didn't last long either.
And you're hearing this from
her,
Stephan? Oh, from both of them. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. The other thing that we're basically telling you is a lot of it's hearsay from what we were told. We didn't physically observe this, any of this stuff. Very, very little interaction with them. Whether they were here, You know, they were either in Stephan's room. Maddie always slept with Debbie, but
Wow, really?
and Maddie floated around here, played with the dogs, did things little girls do with Debbie.
We did some arts and crafts together,
You were teaching her knitting,
crocheting.
yeah.
So that was going to be my next question. So Jen and Maddie and Stephan came here to visit
Yeah.
at some point, or a few times maybe.
Yeah. But if he was here, living here, she would actually come down.
Yeah.
Okay.
But again,
Wow.
very few trips. The last trip we saw them was we didn't see them, but I think we saw them early 2023 and then maybe for Thanksgiving 2022.
Okay. And then when they were here, you're saying Stephan and Jen would sleep in or would hang out in Stephan's room, and then Maddie would sleep with you, or be with you. Okay. Why is that?
Number one, he's a slob. Number two, he only has a queen size bed.
Okay.
And number three, I didn't think it was a healthy environment. Like, they were going to have her sleeping on the floor, on the sleeping bag. And I said, I have a king size bed. I sleep on 36 inches of it. There's a whole side of a bed. Why can't she be comfortable? So I just insisted that she come in with me, and I had the dogs with me. So if she got up, what Jen used to tell me was, you know, she would wake up in the middle of the night, she'd come and climb in bed with them. I said, well, you're gonna have the dogs here. If you get out of bed, you're gonna rouse the dogs up. So,
I got you. Did they ever talk about their sleeping arrangements at their house in Kissimmee?
just what I just told you, that if she had a bad dream or something, she would come in, and I told her as Maddie got older, because we've known Maddie for 7 years, we've watched her grow up.
Yeah, man.
This is very hard. But she
If you guys remember, Deb Stearns was yelling out for Maddie and looking for her when the cops came up to the house. She was calling for Maddie. She thought maybe Stephan had brought Maddie back. Yeah, she slept with Stephan's mom. So Jen Soto was just literally whatever with her daughter. It seems like no kind of caution, no kind of care. I don't know why she doesn't sleep with her husband, but you got to remember that those two were split up a long time ago, and then they got back together. So why is she sleeping with mother's boyfriend's parents? Right. Jen didn't have any precautions with her daughter at all. Wow. Man, I love looking at looking at the chat while we're listening to this. You guys have good insight.
sweet girl, she was. But then she started, in the last year, she started showing signs of bipolar as well.
Bipolar?
And, Jen was horrified by that. They were butting heads like two rams. They were fighting all the time. And they're presenting a very different family dynamic than what they told us was going on.
And you witnessed them butting heads, or?
No, I would be on the phone with Stephan. I would hear them going at each other in the background. But that's, and I would say, what's going on? Well, Maddie and Jenny are at it again, and I got to go break this up. So he would go be the peacekeeper.
Right.
But I just put that down to puberty. She went to puberty. She started puberty at 11.
Right.
It's hormones in me, but anyhow.
Right. That.
She developed quickly, became pretty precocious, and other than that, I don't think she had a lot of friends at school. I don't think that she was a very social person. She had been, if you remember, Stephan and Jim both told us that after she began developing physically, that there were some boys at school last year that would push her up against the wall and grab a feel and bully her. And they were having a hard time with the school getting it stopped.
But anyway, when they visited here, she was either out here or they were watching movies together. But when it came to sleeping time, she was definitely in Deb's room.
Okay. Any time where either Jen and Maddie would be sleeping in that room without Stephan, or okay, so the only person that would separate from them would be Maddie when she was sleeping with you.
Right.
And like I say, she was always floating around because she was bored.
And before that, as you see the holes, we had a TV there. We didn't have one in my room that was big, very big, but we moved that one. So I would sit out here with Maddie when they were in there and we'd watch TV together too. We even got the Disney Channel for her so she'd have it.
Wow.
Do you know if Maddie or Jen, when they were sleeping here, did they take medicine at night or anything like that you know of?
No,
Or did Stephan take any, has he been prescribed any medication?
he has been prescribed an anti-anxiety medication and a ADHD medication. He's got Adderall and
Yeah, Adderall.
something, clomidine, some for sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the first part of it is, but
Really didn't know his medical routines at all, hers or Jen's, other than the fact that
she was always changing medications.
Mm-hmm.
she was, I think, taking medication for depressant and
Bipolar.
anxiety and bipolar, but I don't know anything beyond that.
She had a prescription for medical marijuana.
Medical marijuana.
So she vaped all the time and she shared it with Stephan. I wouldn't allow it in my house. I don't like the smell of it.
So I don't think the drugs should play any part in this as far as giving them an excuse. I don't know why they're focusing on Jen when their son is now being accused of and charged with the murder and essay of Maddie. Now, I mean, they're just throwing stuff out there and seeing what will stick. I do think they should definitely arrest Jen Soto. Absolutely. But yeah, Jen lied to law enforcement. Now she's playing innocent. Her family is buying it and hiding her. And it almost feels like a slap in the face to us, or like someone spitting in our face, because we're seeing what Jen Soto's saying, how she's presenting herself, and we're not buying it. So it feels bad and it feels wrong. And when we hear these parents talking, it's like, okay, I mean, they're obviously trying to blame Jen. They're trying to blame Jen. They don't want their son being accused of this alone, in my opinion.
I said, if you're going to do that, you have to be outside. You just can't bring it in here.
Now, after Stephan moved back here in December and he made the trips back to Kissimmee, would he drive the silver car? Your
No, that's
car?
the first time he ever drove that.
No. He drove the silver car
Oh, that's
because
right.
his car was in dire need of servicing. So I said, last thing I wanted to do is go 2 hours north and be stranded. Now I'm dealing with a disabled car.
These guys, man.
I knew that car was up in maintenance, so I let him drive that car.
What's wrong with his car?
It's 1,000 miles over service. The brake jobs need to be done. He hasn't taken care of that car at all. It's probably going to need about $2,000 to $3,000 worth of repair on it. I'm sure if I take it in, I'm sure it's going to be $2,000 to $3,000. AC was been acting up on it. But,
these parents absolutely enabled their son to do this, and I have a feeling that they knew what was going on. They had an inclination of what was going on. They saw signs of Maddie. I mean, they're just victim blaming after victim blaming, and blaming it on being bipolar and not social and not having friends. This is absolutely disgusting, everybody. Where the apple not fall from the tree, right? Stephan Sterns and Jen were abusing their meds. Not an excuse at all. I think they're disgusting people. Don't forget, y'all, we have 470 people in chat. Please do me a favor, hit the like button. If you have not subscribed yet, please do subscribe. These videos get tens of thousands of views, and it would be helpful for you, I'm talking to you, to hit that subscribe button if you haven't. So I have, about 16,200 subscribers. I could use more so I can get out this information and get better information, better guests, etc. And thank you, Nora, for signing this. Yeah, disgusting enabling parents. I am so glad that you guys are here with me, chatting in chat, listening to this and getting the insight. Oh man, this is definitely rough. I definitely think he had other victims too. Very, very interesting, to say the least, to hear that his appetite and what he liked and just play dead. Oh man.
you know, I didn't trust him for long trips. If he was just commuting to, if he was in Kissimmee.
Oh, what happened? No. My bad, y'all. All right, let's go.
Losing, we're both, it would just be leftover stuff that someone tracked his thumb between the frame and the jack and did hurt himself severely. And I think the conversation lasted about 3 minutes. And I said, well, let's get the car into a tire place and see what's going to cost to repair it. I'm sitting there counting, it's going to cost me several $100s for this now. And then that was it. And then 4:54. I'm just getting out of the car, meeting a customer. I'm going to take him into a house, and he calls, and he says, "I'm en route to Maddie's grandmother. There's been an occurrence." I said, "Well, that's a strange word to use, but okay." And then I'm thinking, "Well, this is weird. 2 events in one afternoon: the flat tire, and now this." And so he said, "Well, I took Maddie to school this morning, and I dropped her off
All right,
just
now
out
listen.
from the school because Maddie didn't want to be seen dropped off in front of the school because I'm not driving a cool enough car." I said, "Okay, well, understand that, teenager, peer pressure, what have you." And he said, I watched her walk towards the school out of the rearview mirror as I pulled away."
Lie.
And so then he goes on to describe that she wasn't, it's been reported that she wasn't at school. Like, we went to pick her up and she wasn't there. Then we come to find out she hadn't been to school all day. And then he starts to describe that the area is a high abduction area. Kids are stolen for abducted, kidnapped, for sex trafficking. And that there's a good chance that she's been abducted. You know, typical questions. Well, what have you done to try to locate her? Have you contacted her old friends, social media? Where's her phone? Oh, she left her phone at home.
Maybe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she does that from time to time. And it was a 3-minute conversation, and he was sobbing. He was really sounded upset that he was holding himself responsible for this. Same routine that he did in that Tuesday interview. I think he was rehearsing it on me.
There you go, y'all.
It was exactly the same routine, same explanation, the whole deal. And so then I kept in touch with them throughout the evening because they were waiting for police to show up, and it was hours, and I just kept checking in, any news, and then that was it until Tuesday, and then I didn't talk to him again until Tuesday. Maybe it was the afternoon, and again, just trying to get an update, what's going on. And then as the day expanded, then police were now more involved, and there's interaction between, I guess, your department and the two of them.
Backtracking to Monday. So you talked to him. You said you tried calling him. When you tried calling him, did it call go right to voicemail, or did it ring a few times?
Combination of all of that. I mean, let me get my notepad.
And by the way, Jen had mentioned several times that Maddie was going through a phase where she didn't want to look uncool, and that it had become their routine to drop her off 1 block from school and pick her up 1 block from school.
And she told you this?
Yes. And never said anything about it being a high traffic area or anything like that. She just said, it's a straight shot. We can see the school. There's an overpass. We make sure nobody's in the overpass, hanging out. And so we just watch. And then Stephan said he took her by himself. And then in the interview, Jen said, we dropped him off. She said it several times. And so I don't know if, do you want any conjecture? Or
Very.
No? The conjecture is that she and Maddie are the same size. She wore Maddie's clothes with the hoodie up to show to cover the dark hair instead of the light hair. And that was Jen saw
That's
sitting
awful. What the heck?
in the picture.
Mhm.
Because obviously, from what we've heard, Maddie was already gone by that time.
Mhm.
So this elaborate charade put on for everybody's benefit.
Mhm.
And she's cool, calm, and collected, and he's a sobbing, wet mess.
So my call to him at 2:25 was 2 seconds, so no connection. And then
All right, so I want you guys to know that Jen Soto did not get a plea deal. Everybody, Jen Soto did not get a plea deal, and right now we're hearing a lot of audio and information, but she did not get a plea deal. I don't know how, what extent that she's talked to the police other than what we've heard. And it sounds like she's blaming, Stephan Sterns, calling him names, saying, oh, it must have been him. He was the last one to be seen with Maddie. So it sounds like she is blaming him. She did not get a plea deal. She still can be arrested. Synth Serber, have a good night. Be safe. DZ just came in. Don't know how to sign up for your list. Well, what do you mean to sign up for a list? I'd love you to be part of the crime crew, guilty of crime membership, so that we can. You actually are part of that, but I'm not sure about the list. But thank you so much for the $10 super chat. You guys are awesome. Man, I love you guys. You're helping me so much tonight. And, this is a hard topic, but it gets easier with all the love and support and people that are hitting the like and chatting. You guys are being amazing in chat, by the way. So thank you. She can't even pronounce the word charade. Instead of holding Stephan responsible for his heinous crime, she just keeps deflecting onto Jen. Jen should be held 100% responsible. I agree. I don't know where the Jen interview is, but or the picture. Where every time I get something out, I will share it with you. And I have a lot right now that's all backlogged.
he called me at 3:17, and that conversation lasted 3 minutes.
And you said he was upset at that time, or he seemed?
No, he seemed off, and I said, well, maybe the anxiety medications or what have you was keeping him somewhat kind of flat monotone in a way.
Mhm.
Nothing upbeat about it. And then, matter of factly, I had a flat tire. We talked about that, and then
Did he plan on taking the car to a tire shop? Did you guys
I
confirm
told
that
him-
plan? Or
I told him to. I said, he's driving on the donut. And we both confirmed that, the donut wouldn't last long, and that, he needed to get that quickly replaced. And I expected him to do it. I didn't expect for him to do it that day, because that's not Stephan's modus operandi.
What do you mean run it back and listen again? What happened? Are you talking? You must be talking to somebody else. All right. Jennifer Soto and Maddie FFS dad came up and stayed. Why did the dad come up and stay at the hotel? Because they needed help. They said they needed. Where'd it go? The chat is flying. Somebody asked why. JC asked why dad came up and stayed at the hotel, because they said they needed help. Or he needed them to rent them a room, but I don't know exactly what really was said. Yeah, housing. It's about right.
I expected him to do it the next day. So then I didn't hear from him until he called me at 4:54. And that conversation lasted 3 minutes. And, as I said, I heard this story about him dropping her off at school and the whole abduction thing. And I heard that even more later in the evening. But I thought to myself, how strange these two events happened and within a short time of one another that afternoon.
Did you question him about it or no?
No, I didn't think about it. When the call came in, he starts telling me that this is just a thought I had. It's kind of strange that coincidence that there were two incidents like that in that afternoon.
Okay. So moving on, you spoke to him around 4-ish, and that's when he said Maddie's gone missing.
Yeah, we're close to 5.
Okay. And then you didn't speak to him again until the following days.
No.
I do get a sense from Jen that she is pushing it all onto Stephan. and she's not counting on him talking. The moment she got the opportunity, so she never told on Stephan. She never even tried to say, oh, he dropped Maddie off, maybe he did something. She waited until the last second when the police showed her the pictures, and then we heard what she said about, well, he must have been because he was the last one to see her alive, and she started alluding to that fact. Now, also, someone brought up her talking about, oh, surveillance for the vape shop. I do have a feeling that Jen Soto is more involved, not only with handing her daughter over, but the taking of her life as well. Yeah, it's crazy. I just, there's a lot listening to this. I hear a lot more than I did before.
Well, I talked to him for 7 minutes at 6:02.
Okay.
6:02, and then again for 5 minutes at 6:22.
And is that just to get updates,
Yeah.
or what's the
Exactly.
conversation you're having?
Well,
with him
it was
during
me
that time?
he called me at 6:02, and again, just briefing me, letting me know what's going on. There was an out call at 2 minutes.
So Stephan Sterns said, we got a flat tire. They do have the video, and Jen wasn't with him, but that could be, we got a video, meaning, that they did that. He was dumping the body for Jen. I just can't wait. What is up with these exact minutes? Yeah. When Emma Joy, good call. When someone's putting, over unusual details, a lot of times it indicates lies. So the 10:18 or 11:05 or just crazy explanations indicate deception. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Again, hit that like. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and then share this when we're all done.
At 6:18, and then another one at 6:22 for 5 minutes. And both of those, I was making the calls. And then nothing again until Tuesday at 12:16, 3 seconds there. And then out at 6:32, 1 minute. I'm not even sure if we had even a conversation. So that was, and then after that, no more calls from his phone. Now Jen's calling me on her phone.
Okay. Did they tell you why?
There was a conversation about whether the police wanted his phone and whether he should give it to him. And I said, do you have any reason not to?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, no. And I said, then give me your phone. Let's get this cleared up. What really upset me was in one of the conversations I had with him when it became apparent that he was going to be a person of interest. I said, well, you had your phone. You can document where you've been. Mm-hmm. Well, I left my phone at home.
Of course you did.
Okay. Let's backtrack. Were you anywhere that a camera could have caught you?
Thank you.
Where'd you go? And it didn't sound like he went anywhere that a camera could track him. So I said,
thank you very much, Teresa Knight, for the $1.99 super sticker, and anybody else that sends me a super chat or super sticker or a guilty of crime gifted membership, I will shout you out. This is helping me support my channel greatly, and I do appreciate that. It makes me be able to do this more often and stream longer, so thank you.
Well, I understand that, but I'm not sure, where a camera would have been. But, thinking he was innocent, trying to help, pinpoint where he was so he could document his whereabouts, because of my understanding, there was a 2 hour gap between when he supposedly dropped her off and then when he returned home, because he said he called Jen at 10:17. Mm-hmm. And in matter of fact, my understanding why he called Jen at 10:17 was to get back into the community because she had to call him in. He didn't have his clicker.
Okay. Is he tech savvy?
My impression, no, but I'm hearing, hearsay from other people that he may have been. But when he told me that he was doing a OS update on his phone and it accidentally wiped out his phone, I cried bullshit. Mm-hmm. But there's always that one off. It could be, but when he starts saying, well, yeah, I accidentally pressed the button to reset it. Then I knew it was bullshit. That's not in the process of an OS update. You just say, yes, go ahead and do it, and you leave it alone, and it updates and it'll let you know that your phone's been updated. End of story. None of this other bullshit.
Do you pay for his phone or does he pay for it?
I pay for it.
Did you want this coffee?
Yeah, would you put some cream in it? Blonde like you, you know, and duke it in the microwave for 38 seconds.
38.
How did you get to Kissimmee? Like, what made you go to Kissimmee?
Okay, so I got a call. I got a call at 9:30. And then I think that's when that discussion took place about whether to give this phone to the police or not. I said, you haven't got any issue with it, give them the phone. Give them the phone. And then I got a call. And then I went to bed. And I was 10 or something. I'm all tucked into bed. I got the boys with me. And I may have been partially asleep because I had my phone on silent. And then I woke up because the phone was vibrating, and then my watch would have been in the office. So the phone was vibrating. By the time I got it, there was no connect. So then that was at 10:42, and then I made an out call at 10:43, and then the conversation was about, you need to come up here.
And who says that?
They both did because they were on speaker.
Okay.
And Stephan said, hey, you need to come up here. And I said, okay. I said, so we discussed, they were being kicked out. They didn't have a place to stay. So I said, well, we need to figure out where to go for, where to stay and what have you. And so I'm jumping in the shower, packing a bag, talking to Dad, making plans to leave, which I did just after midnight. I tried to make a call to them at 11:56. It went to voicemail, and then I called her back at, now we're into Wednesday, so I called her back at 12 to let them know I was on my way. And then I also called my wife because when I left, the front door, if you notice, has an electronic keypad.
All right. This is getting good. So buckle up, folks. It's getting good. He's going to spill some tea. Right now, it's been a lot of, deflecting onto Jen and little details about things that not so much needed. But Maggie Duke, why not call Jen's mom for hotel room money? Because they absolutely despise Stephan Sterns. And they probably would have told Jen, just come over to the house. They wouldn't have paid for them to be in a hotel room. I'll tell you that right now. Marilyn says, pay my airfare. I'll visit Stephan Sterns. What's up, Eilish Day Avalon from Australia? All right, let's listen to the tea that he's spilling, or the coffee.
That's why I did agree.
No. Okay. Thank you.
It wasn't working, and it's been it's electronic, and it's batteries in there since the day we moved here, so it's 4 years old. So when I try to lock it, it's not flashing or anything. I did get it to lock, but I wanted her to know that, hey, if you go out, you're going to have to come back in through the garage door, and the only way to do that if you had a clicker in your remote in your visor, but you weren't going to be able to get in through the front door. And then I got a call from them at 1 a.m.
All right, so he's telling him if he goes out, he's not going to be able to get back in. Lynette, thank you for the $5 super chat. It says, love you, Jay. Thanks for all you do. Thank you for all you do and being here almost every time that I'm on. I'm in Florida. I'll put in for a visit with that. Please, anybody that does a visit with Stephan Sterns that can document anything, you might not be able to document inside, but if you want to put a visit in, or somebody wants to write to him or send messages, whatever, please come and report to me. We'll put you on here on Guilty of Crime, and we'll report to what you've seen, please. And thank you. Thank you, Lynette. Amazing. You guys are awesome. All right, let's listen to the tea.
18 lasted for 2 minutes, and then at 1:51, 50 seconds, because I arrived at the hotel.
What were the conversation at the 118 area? What was that conversation about?
Just confirmation of where they were and where we were staying, and the address of the hotel, because it was out off of west of Disney, off the 429.
And from what I understand, Did you pay for the hotel or did they pay for it?
They paid for theirs, and I paid for mine, but then it said a pet-friendly hotel, pet-friendly if you paid $150 for the night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, all right, so I paid for the dog to stay.
Okay, their dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I actually reimbursed her for it.
Mm-hmm. All right, and when you got to the hotel, you had conversations with Jen and Stephan. I'm assuming?
Yeah, we were just greeting, gave Stephan a hug and, chit-chatted for a few minutes. I was busy checking in because they had already completed their check-in. They went up to their room. They were on the opposite end of me, but we were on the same floor. I went out to the car, park my car, get my stuff and bring it in and go to my room. And then I went to their room, spent about 10 minutes with them, no more than 15. And then I was heading back to my room to go to bed.
What were the conversations when you were in their room?
I don't really recall. It was just, everybody settled in, everybody okay, we'll just meet in the morning.
Oh my God.
See what unfolds at that time. I'm sure there was going to be some more interviews or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
I plan to go to the office, our corporate offices.
You like how all of a sudden he doesn't recall one of the most important nights of anybody's life ever, when Maddie is now missing and you've got a suspect of a bunch of CSA and him taking her life. He doesn't recall their conversations. Clarence Drew, thank you so much for the $20 super sticker. I appreciate you, all the love and support. Thank you. Randy B, I love you already. Thank you so much for the super sticker. You didn't even have to say anything because I know Randy B. Thank you. You guys are amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Let's listen to his conversations he doesn't recall.
In Orlando, so I plan to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I was up 6:30, 7 or so, 6:30. Then I left the hotel around 7:30 to go to the office.
Okay. When you left to go to the office, was Stephen and Jen still there?
As far as I know, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I come to find out later when I got a phone call from Jen around 10 o'clock, 9:48 or so. I think it was 9:49. She called me. It lasted for about a minute to ask me if Stephan was with me.
Mm-hmm.
I go, no. Well, he's not here. How long has he been gone? Maybe 25 minutes. I said, okay, well, all right, maybe he's out running around, whatever. So then I get a call from her about at 10:17. Don't recall what that conversation was about. Then there was another call, 10:47, and I think matter of fact, I try to recall what time we talked about his not being there, and then I called back and said,
yes.
I told her, I said, go down to the lobby. If he was gone for 25 minutes, go down to the lobby. Maybe he's down there.
Right.
Seemed logical.
Yes.
And then after I hung up, I called her back and said, are your car keys there? And she said, no. I said, okay, interesting. So then I get a call back from her later and saying that the detective had called and said they were going to come over within the hour to visit with them. And I said, okay, I'm on my way. So I left the office and drove over there. Thinking, well, he's going to be in a world of hurt if he's not there when they come back, because they'll probably put a bolo out on him and then just decide to arrest him because he's wandering around. What's he doing?
Mm-hmm.
So
when you got back, was he there?
No, he didn't show up for another 15 or 20 minutes. Okay. And then do you know if Jen's car has a GPS in it? Nav system?
It does, yes.
Okay. Well, that's part of his lie. So, he came back in and said, well, I got lost in the back roads of Disney, no GPS and what have you. And I didn't think about this till later. I thought, wait a minute, Jen's got to do her car. Most of them have a GPS system in it. So because he didn't have a phone, obviously he didn't have hers, he was trying to wind his way back to the hotel, but couldn't because he didn't have a GPS when in fact he did have a GPS.
Now there was talks of that he may have came here that morning.
Well, so when I finally got in to see Alex Wednesday evening, he said, what exit do you get off of when you come back to work?
Sure.
tested my exit numbers. And I said, I think it's 179, Toledo Glade. And he said, did you know that Stephan was in Northport at 7:45 that morning? I said, really? No, I didn't. Then I later learned it was really 6:30-ish, which meant that, and I had my timeline all screwed up. I thought I departed their room at 3:30 when in fact it was more like 2:30. So I was thinking, gosh, I just went to bed, and then he turned around and got out of there and went down to Northport. But when I learned about that, I couldn't imagine why. And then Alex is telling me, well, we have information that he went to your storage unit. So that led us down a rat hole. And then I found out that was completely wrong. That access storage facility had been accessed for 2 weeks. And that was me going to put the lock back on that I had incorrectly relocked my unit 2 weeks ago, now almost 3 weeks ago. So that was wrong. The time of his entering Northport was wrong. It was really an hour earlier, hour and 15 minutes earlier, and he never went to access the storage unit. So I'm sitting there thinking, well, he must have been really disappointed if he was coming to this house because he couldn't get in the front door. And that.
Oh man, thank you so much, Angie Ray. Just found you and love what I see. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Angie. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification so that you can catch all of my lives and be on here and just chat with us and support us. Welcome to the crew, like TechBird says. Man, you know what's weird is the dad is giving a lot of talk, and I'm not really sure about the information he's providing, but it's weird because they support him financially and they just support him, like they back him up so much. It's weird that they're kind of telling on him. And Jamie, I want to go to Crime Con next year. Absolutely. That is my goal. Again, thank you, Angie Ray. Don't forget to subscribe. We love you and continue chatting with us.
That door was locked, and he knew that that if he came in, chances are he would put the dogs on high alert and set them off, which would have got her up. And I asked her, I said, what would you have done if Stephan was standing in the middle of the house and you weren't expecting him? It's like, what are you doing here? And God knows what would have taken place at that point. Why he was here?
Dad? Why are you here?
Why did I go to Orlando? Because I can tell you the amount of time I spent with him, aggregately, 3 occasions, was a total of 30, 35 minutes. That's the amount of time that I had spent with him. Because when he got back to that hotel room, the both of them went back to bed and they slept. And there was no waking the dead. And up until 2 o'clock, I'm trying to get him to eat something. Jen and I went down and had some lunch, but I have no idea why he was here, other than to get in the house, to get something, maybe try to steal some money from me, maybe steal something of value, to sell it, what have you.
Wow.
I had no idea.
So when you, so on Tuesday, when he eventually made it back to the hotel, you're saying you and Jen went to go eat, but Stephan didn't want to go?
No, you could wake him up.
Colorado.
He was out of it, dead to the world.
Okay. Now, I was told by Northport PD when they came and talked to, I'm assuming you one night, that you may have mentioned the dogs barking sometime throughout the night.
They went on high alert and I looked at my watch because I was in here alone. 3:19 in the morning. I had all 5 of them sleeping with me since he wasn't here to sleep with the boys. They all went from dead asleep to springing up in the air and standing.
I did want to address that. So Flyer B, thank you for saying, how could they sleep with Maddie missing? That must have taken a lot of tranquilizers to be sleeping in a time like that. I definitely agree. I can't understand how Jen could sleep like that. Not only that, hey, my daughter's missing and probably been essayed and now her life's taken, but hey, let's go out to lunch. Why don't you pay for it? And while we're at it, we should definitely get Stephan a lawyer. You should get him one because he's probably going to get in trouble. Yeah, how could you eat knowing that your child is not with you? How could you eat? How could you? half of the stuff she's doing, or 2/3, 3/4, whatever, how could you do? I think that she was more involved than we think. That's absolutely ridiculous. Wade Wilson can go have a GoFundMe. We should be able to too, right? I heard Wade Wilson got banned from his kiosk.
On all
Food
4
for
feet,
thought.
all of them looking at my window and giving the war bark. That's not a war bark. That's a wolf.
Yeah.
When they do it, it's a sound that will make your skin
Wake the dead.
goosebumps. And I didn't have the gun in my room. I don't usually I don't usually keep it in there.
Sure.
I had to come and look for a flashlight. I let all the dogs out here. And then I did not unlock the security lock on the door. I just took the flashlight and went like this to see if there was a critter in the yard. We have bobcats. We have all kinds of stuff out here. So didn't see anything in the yard. Didn't see anything out the front. Went and looked through the office window. Didn't see anything out there. So didn't see a car. I thought, okay, well, we must have had a critter, and I just missed it. You know, they dig holes and come under the fence and drive the dogs nuts. Rabbits, especially. We had one last night.
And you're saying that your code to the storage facility was not used on that Tuesday?
No, the storage unit, Northport Police told me was, they misread it, but they said the last access, because I didn't think Stephan had my access code unless when we were there in December, he decided to memorize it. And I keep it in my contacts, because obviously I don't use it that often. I'm not going to commit to memory. But
obviously,
I was there 2 weeks ago because they called me up and said, "Hey, you know, we're doing an audit. We got an audit that's going to happen, and we check all the units, and you didn't lock your unit properly. So it's just slide it over, bolt it, and then it's got 2 holes. You drop your padlock in there, lock it. Well, apparently, I locked it on the outside. I didn't think I did, but anyway, it must have. So I went over there the next day and properly locked it. So,
any reason why he would come here? Does he have any other friends or close people that he would?
Well, I mean, he has a limited number of friends. I don't know. Maybe he was going to hook up with one of them. Frank being one of them is the one I know that he's is closely associated with. And when he goes out, it's with him. And we haven't heard of anybody else that he's socializing with. So I'm assuming he would have gone out with Frank. But other than just gaining access to this house, and there's no way he would have broken in here because impact window's not going to do that. And the front door not working, so he would screw blue tattoo. I checked the car, after the Northport police left to see if there was any marks on the door to see if he was tried to pry the car open, but nope, I didn't see.
Yeah, you email me, Melissa. Let's chat. I want to know what's going on with you. I thought things had turned around, and I'm very sorry to hear that you're back, or you're in a tent and you don't have a home. So let me know. Drop it in chat. I forget what state you're in. Let us know so we can give you ideas and support. Maggie Duke says she knew she was deceased. Jen Soto. See, I want to hear more from Jen Soto. I'm getting through this, and as we get through this, we'll go through other ones all together. It seems like you guys really enjoy listening to this together as a community and chatting and talking. So Sarah Maddie says, if Jen isn't involved, I'm Marilyn Monroe. I'm pretty sure Marilyn Monroe isn't alive anymore, so I think Jen is involved. Eileen asks where Melissa is. So Melissa, let us know. Let us know where you are. Say you were doing good. Your husband got you kicked out. I didn't even do anything. I'm in Maine. Wow, yeah, you got to message me. We're here to support you.
Any marks on it? So I guess he was here for an hour and 15 minutes or so before he had to make tracks to get back to Orlando, but I have no idea what he did for that amount of time. Maybe he came down here thinking he would throw the police off. If they obviously found a way to track him or something, maybe they said, well, he disposed of the body or disposed of something down here, but I have no idea.
Wow.
Other than just coming here and stealing something from us.
You don't know if he has his own credit cards or anything like that, do you?
He has one, maybe 2 credit cards at best that are his, and nothing else.
Okay.
I don't think he may have, I gave him access to a second Chase account that I set up for him, but it hasn't been used in for whatever time. So if he has that, it doesn't have any money in the account. So other than that, that's the only thing I would know he had. I gave him, he would have use of the gas card, but I made him fill it up and give me the card back, so he didn't have use of that.
What banks does he have?
Well, he has a second account that I set up, but he has his own account with Disney Partners.
Credit union or something.
Okay. Yeah. But we don't have any access to that, so I don't know what he's got in there, what he does.
Have you looked to see if there was any phone activity on your account that you paid for anytime during that Monday, Tuesday area?
I didn't look at his account. To answer your question, no. But then a Wednesday, since he didn't have his phone, I had a spare phone that I use for business, which I think you guys have, iPhone mini. And I said, here, use this until you get your phone back. Again, thinking everything's innocent and what have you. And so I gave that to him around 3:00 one.
This is absolutely blood boiling and ridiculous at the same time, folks. Absolutely. I just was Stephan Sterns able to do anything on his own? He was actually 38 years old, and he is a big time loser. We know he's a slob. We knew that from the beginning. Well, we knew that he's a loser and a chomo, whatever we want to call him. But this is absolutely just. I think Stephan Sterns went to the house to probably get something or get rid of something, and he wasn't very successful. He was only there for maybe 10 minutes, and yeah, I think that's what he was doing. A missing child, innocent and happy, and they were both hanging out in a hotel and sleeping. He slept and slept and slept. How could you do that? How could Jen do that? Ugh, disgusting.
Wednesday afternoon and said, use this. And then we went downstairs and met with the detectives, and then they were escorted away. And then the last time I saw the phone, other than him calling me to tell me that the detective said when they pull into the Orange County Operations Center, they're going to go straight back. And I go, oh, okay. And I'm to go to the left and park out in front of the main building. We're going there for the press conference. And then I get there, and then I'm expecting to meet up with Jen and Stephan to go up to the press conference. And then when trying to reach them, Stephan's phone is dead at this point. It's turned off. Finally, Jen responds to me, and they said they're making arrangements. Go inside. You'll get a pass. They'll take you upstairs to the press conference. So by the time I got up there, it was over. And now I'm just trying to, where is everybody? But the only call that came in, because I wiped out everything that I could think of to wipe out, because if he's going to have access to that phone, like I've got my contacts in there where I put all my passwords and username and passwords. I know it's stored in passwords, but I want quick access to it or something, whatever information. What are you going to do? No, just
stay.
Yeah,
Stay.
just tell me quiet. So, and then anything else that would have been confidential that I didn't want to have access to, I deleted off of there. Because I only expected them to use it for a short time, because the police said in the lobby, hey, we're going to give your phone back, we're going to give your car back. Well, I knew what that was about. They're going to escort him without handcuffing and what have you. They wanted him to be comfortable and what have you. So I didn't expect to lose my iPhone as a result of that.
Which you should be able to get that iPhone back, but I'll double check and let you know.
Well, I was going to ask you that.
Yeah.
Because I asked Alec about it. I said, well, it's being transferred to Kissimmee. And I said, well, this is going to be a slow process. So anyway.
No, we should be able to get you the iPhone back.
Yeah.
His other phone, no.
Oh, no. I would expect that. No.
What about the car?
The card, no.
All right, so they're asking for items back now, folks. They're definitely not going to give the phone back. I don't think they're ever going to give the other phone back either, and not the car. That was the car Maddie was in. Her body was in. Ah, yeah. Sorry for the background track and the thing and the barking and the whistling. Sorry about that. Bestie77. I'm going to put my email below for you. It's guiltyofcrimebyj@gmail.com. Let's keep going. Let's listen to what else they want back.
Yeah, we already know that. Yeah, I've already kissed that goodbye.
Okay.
We use that as a poodle ambulance.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
The silver car, because the dogs go to the vet or if they have some surgeries or the puppies or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
The back seat, could be smeared with puke, blood, and what else? But we call it the poodle ambulance.
When you gave Stephen this car to go to Kissimmee, clean inside?
No.
No.
It's the poodle ambulance.
Just keep in mind, folks, nothing that Stephan Sterns had was clean, including himself. And I feel so bad for Maddie, man. I feel so bad, everybody, that Maddie had to go through this. I mean, we know that he was a disgusting monster, and he touched her all the time. And Nina Drew, thank you so much for the $1.99 super sticker, and you keep supporting my channel. Thank you. And anybody that supports my channel, I will shout you out. Thank you so much.
We're not going to have that car detailed, and then if he's using it, and of course, Debbie had a bunch of her stuff in it, but no, that car was not clean.
Okay.
And I said, well, if forensics is going to go over that, I mean,
Oh man,
I tried to tell somebody. I said, it's a poodle.
All right, Joe. It's a Poodle-mobile he's talking about. DD with the dog. Gifted 5 Guilty of Crime memberships. Thank you so much. All you guys have to do is interact and chat and make sure that your gifting option is on, and you'll get a Guilty of Crime membership. We're going to do a members only live next week. I'll probably save some of this stuff for the members only, so you guys we can go over that, since everybody's super interested in this, and I am too.
Ambulances. There's going to be some leftover puke or blood or what have you that we weren't able to get out of the seats because they're perforated.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope somebody doesn't get too excited when they hit on something, but it's animal blood as far as I know.
Okay. Have you talked to Stephen since he's been arrested?
No. We tried to set up a video visitation yesterday. It said we were confirmed. My iPad, my iPhone crashed a couple of times when I'm trying to get on, and then finally got
flares yesterday.
What?
They said we had 3 solar flares yesterday. Facebook went offline, and a lot of Verizon went off, and some other. And I thought, well, maybe that's what kicked us off yesterday.
But when I finally got on it, he wasn't there. So I kind of expected that could have happened because again, they gave me a warning. They said, if he's not available, he's not going to be available and won't be there. But I figured since I had confirmation, but I haven't had any conversation whatsoever.
Have you talked with Jen since he's been arrested?
Last conversation, a text I had from her was when I asked her if she had gotten access back into the townhome, because if there was anything that Stephan had there, like supposedly he had his gun there, I wanted to get it out of there and away from harm, and
there it is
here where somebody else couldn't do anything with it. And I was making arrangements to do that. And she said yes, and then I didn't hear back from her after that. So she's gone dark on us.
Okay.
Has she lawyered up? No. Well, she's avoiding me for whatever reason. Because up until that point.
Well, we have her phone.
Oh, you have her phone. Oh, okay.
So that may be one of the reasons that she's.
Well, if I'm sending you love notes, I'll be teasing. If I'm sending you messages, now I know that's why it's not going to answer. Because the last thing I got from her was, yes, she did. And then I sent her another message afterwards trying to get some more information. And again, try to make arrangements to get the gun out of there. Do you guys have the gun or is this?
Yeah, we have it.
Wow, okay. Man.
All right. At least it's in safe hands. What?
I'm sorry?
I said we'll never see that again either.
No, yeah, you definitely will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, anyway, I'm just concerned that it's in safe hands. That's the only thing I was concerned about. I didn't want, because they have roommates there. I don't know who these people are. and somebody could take that, and I didn't want that to happen.
Have they ever talked about their roommates at all?
No.
No, we don't
even
know.
know if there's sex. We don't even know if it's guys or girls.
Yeah.
Now, did Jen ever talk to you about Sunday night after the party
Regarding what?
regarding the fact that there was probably drinking with the adults at the party?
Right.
That she and Stephan would definitely have been vaping.
I
that
think it was.
her meds were not working, and Sunday night when she went to bed with Maddie and Stephan was in Maddie's room to sleep, that she woke up with a headache, and she told Maddie, and she told us, she told Maddie to go sleep with Stephan in her room. And
In her room or his room?
And when
His room.
Okay.
he was sleeping in Maddie's room, and she sent him. She specifically said, because she told her, she says, I told her to go sleep with Stephan. And I was like the antenna popped up, and I said, what a stupid thing to do. Why would you do that?
Very stupid thing to do. And listening to this gives me a feeling that Stephan Sterns is going to point the finger at Jen and say that she pushed Maddie on him and he couldn't help himself in the way that his conversations were earlier and what they're saying. Like he was just sleeping by himself and he was fine, but Jen was just handing her over and he couldn't resist. Bailey, the autopsy results that we got today, or what it says in the report, we don't have the autopsy, like the final autopsy, but it does say asphyxiation, strangulation and asphyxiation. So that is more than likely the cause of death. Now, because of her age, we don't have the actual autopsy and like the report where you can see the marks on the body, but we have a good idea of that. And D says, I happened to see the picture of Stephan naked today and I was pretty gross. D, where did you get the pictures from, folks? Where'd you get the pictures from, y'all? D, I want those pictures. I don't want to see Stephan naked, but I want those pictures. And I'm sure it's gross, but how did I not get the pictures? You did. You should email me, D. guiltyofcrimebyj@gmail.com. Tell me where the pictures are. All right. Yeah, protected reports. All right. And we're sorry for you, D. Hopefully you can sleep tonight.
You've got plenty of room on your bed. Why would you send Maddie in there to go on a single bed with Stephan? It didn't make sense to me.
Do you know if they've ever talked about that in the past, that they would allow Maddie and Stephan to sleep in the same room together, or the three of them sleep in the same bed?
That was the first time I'd heard that. But when she started talking about Maddie coming and sleeping with them at night, climbing in bed with them at night, and then Maddie told me, that's where she told me, she says, yeah, I was sleeping with mom and dad, and I rolled over, and I ended up with my leg over Stephan's leg, and she giggled about it, and I was like going, that was the second time. I said, and I told Jen, I said, listen, she's getting too old to do this. She's too old to share a bed with you. Don't do it anymore. I said, if you have to lock your bedroom door so she can't come in when you guys are asleep, then you need to do that.
Absolutely.
I said, I can understand a toddler. I can understand it up to about 5 years old. But after that, I mean, this is ridiculous. So I was very upset about that. And that's one of the other reasons we wanted him home. I just wanted him out of that environment.
I want to go back to the medication that Stephan on Saturday asked
Right.
you if you had any medicine to calm his anxiety. Did he have prescription medication that just wasn't filled, or?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So he didn't have any medicine to take to Kissimmee.
No, not that we're aware of. And one of the things I was pressing hard with Stephan when he left Disney, I said, talk to human resources to get your insurance coverage after you leave, because you need it for prescriptions. And so up until 2 weeks ago, I'm assuming he had enough medication to get him through, but he needed some medication. So we're trying to get him back on insurance, which I did. And then there was a waiting period of a few days that we were supposed to call in and then arrange to get his prescription filled. He contacted the doctor, supposedly, because I told him to, and there would have been a prescription waiting waiting
Yes.
for him, but it never got filled.
Gotcha.
So now he's trying to get prescription meds from his parents. See, they had prescription meds, these people, Jen, Stephan, and whoever else had whatever going on, but they were abusing them, in my opinion. So when people call them drug addicts, rightfully so by what they were doing. Joe Poppy just became a YouTube member. Thank you. All right, I'm going to open my door for the dogs in a second. And thank you all for being here. We're at 2 hours and 34 minutes and we're still going. There's 478 people in chat, which makes me hesitant about stopping. All right, let's go.
Okay.
When did he start taking prescription medication? Do you remember?
Yes, I
He
do.
started
Thank
taking
you.
Adderall when he was a child. I mean, he has a TBI, and so he was on an IEP through school, individual education program. He went to special classes. He was hit by a truck when he was 8. Hit in the
You
back
hear
of the
that?
head with the bumper, run over his torso, and then the guy heard everybody screaming, put the car drive and drove back over and got him in the front of the head.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
so he
All right. Are we going to give that excuse to Stephan Sterns like Wade Wilson got in a motorcycle accident, got hit in the head? Smut peddlers, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. You said Tiff says I thought that was the poodles. I should have just pretend like that, right? ASDFKL. I do have full sleeves. I actually have a almost bodysuit. I have full sleeves, front, back, legs, all the way down. I got legs and sleeves. All right. Let's keep going. We knew all this crap, Jay. Yeah, we did. We did. We absolutely did.
Well, how long has he been seeing the psychiatrist, psychologist?
counselor there
Yeah, counselor.
about 4 years.
So she was prescribing medications for him at least 4 or 5 years ago, whenever he started going to counseling.
So when you last saw him on Saturday and he's having this episode, the next time you see him is Tuesday night, going into Wednesday?
Wednesday morning, 2:15.
Early in the morning.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Change in his demeanor, I'm assuming, was different?
Just very stoic, no emotions. Again, I'm attributing to maybe medication he's taking and the fact that.
Where would he get that medication? From Jen, if he was going to take it?
Yeah, that Jen said, "Oh, don't worry about it. I have some meds here he can use."
And then the fact that we're now looking at early Wednesday morning, now going back to 5 o'clock. Well, actually, even sooner than that, since he knew the true events. So from that Monday afternoon or sometime Monday all the way to Wednesday early morning, I don't know how much sleep he's had. I know he's been under a lot of pressure, obviously, from questioning and interviews and what have you. So I didn't expect to see much of him, much other than just being somewhat stoic,
Yes.
kind of zombie, out of it. That's when when I left him in his room, he was sitting in a chair. And matter of fact, I remember hearing a comment with Jen when I was talking to him. They were driving over to the hotel. She's yelling at him to wake up because he was sleeping in the car. And when I left him in his room, sitting in that chair, he looked like a guy that was going to pass out. And to hear that he drove down to Northport and back shocks the shit out of me.
Really?
Unbelievable. So, the guy was like,
Really? Christine Brown says, guilty of crime. Stephan Sterns' pictures are on Plunder's community page. I really want to see that. The community Patreon page or the regular YouTube page? It must be on the Patreon. And Nina Drew, again, perfect timing. Thank you so much for the $1.99 super sticker. Now we need to get you a Guilty of Crime membership so you could join us. And it says he's not naked, so he's partially naked. Good night, Crystal Burns. Good night. Please rewatch it. Justice for Maddie. Thank you. Thanks,
out of it.
Nita.
And where he came up with all that energy to do that. And then when he comes back to the hotel room, he's got an energy drink, and then he immediately crawls into bed, and he is dead to the world. You can't wake him up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, all these hours and everything else finally caught up to him, but there was no waking him up. He was passed out.
I wish Stephan Sterns was not only dead to the world, but just dead, period. That guy's disgusting. And the way they're talking about him right now, it's like he's a little boy. Ugh, gross.
Okay. Jeremy?
I seriously don't know what he would have done if he had access to the house. But what he didn't realize is that when Chris leaves, his house gets locked up like Fort Worth.
They're straight telling on him right now. Fort Worth.
I never lock that door because it's a pain in the butt to get it up into the security position. And Elliot dislocated my thumb, so not one of these dogs are ripped a tendon. So I'm right-handed, so it's even harder. But I did do that because I don't know.
I do want to touch that. When Northport was here, apparently they were given a computer. Is that
I
right?
gave him a computer.
Okay.
Yeah. Because there was a desktop computer sitting here, tower. And I told Alex, I said, hey, it's got a tower unit here, desktop. I said, you guys want it? And they said, yeah, we'll probably do that. And so again, I reminded Northport Police that it was here, so I gave it to them.
Okay. Do you know what Stephan's dominant hand is?
What is what?
Dominant hand?
Right.
Is right. A couple questions. I know you mentioned part of his childhood and having that traumatic car crash. What else was his childhood like? Did he have a pretty normal childhood? Did he have siblings? Only child?
Well, he has an older brother that was in the Navy, but
they're 11 years apart. So it's basically like having raised two single children.
Okay.
Because of the age separation, what have you, I mean, his older brother, they weren't very close because of the age difference. So his older brother was never around that much.
Okay.
There you go, y'all.
Maybe right out of high school. He and a few of his friends, and they've done wonderful with their lives. But yeah, no, he loves animals. Always picking stuff up and bringing it home. Would not do a single chore around the farm when we had the farm.
Yeah, that's just because he's a lazy piece of a poor excuse for a human. That's why. So disgusting. They created a deadly combination. I agree with that. In my expression, man, we should listen to a little more of this and then make you look at the pictures as well so we can see your face. Yeah, and Stephan Sterns loved animals. Remember the thing about the animals? Oh, yeah. I wonder if he did other things to animals, if he killed animals. He is a lot like Ted Bundy. Oh,
Is he a clean type person, or
no, Jesus God, no, he's lived in a
Did he use the C word? Clean? No. Always a challenge to get him to pick up his room. Mm-hmm. Always.
I was going to surprise him and put a hazmat sticker across his door because I opened it and looked at it.
That's not funny.
And said,
That's not funny.
I'm going in there. So then I offered to help him clean his room. I said, look, it's hard when it's that bad to even know where to start. I said, I will help you.
We tried to encourage him for sports. He played baseball,
he ran track.
But
hey, Paul.
He seemed fine as a kid growing up, and I don't know, maybe later this brain injury started.
He did not have very close friends. He had a couple of close friends and some acquaintances, but those were the only ones. And he took Shotokan karate with Brian. They got up to a brown belt.
How were his emotions as a kid?
Yes, Papa Paul.
But also,
hello, Paul. Papa Paul. He's my adopted dad. Everyone's saying hi to you, Paul. You got the chat lit up. Hello, hello, hello. I hope you're doing really well. We miss you. And yeah, we're here for you. Definitely here for you. Everybody says hi. That was Maddie trying to quietly yell for help. She knew she couldn't tell, but she was hinting at it for the adults to pick up her cry, and nobody did. I mean, there's 471 people in chat still. You guys are doing amazing. You guys are also like, I haven't seen so much love in a while. People are coming in, they're donating. I think we're going to finish up with this. I think we will finish this together. I mean, it sounds like you guys are in for it.
So, I mean, even in kindergarten,
Hey.
before the accident, he didn't participate with the other kids a lot. He would rather go and make up his own game and do his own thing
Mm.
than that. Has a very high IQ. He's very intelligent. And I think that I was in college at the time too, trying to finish my degree, and I had all my books, oceanography and stuff like that, and he was interested. And when he was little, he was looking at my college textbooks, and I taught him to read. And he was reading at probably a 5th or 6th grade level when he went into 1st grade. He has a marvelous vocabulary. He has a great mind for history. If something interests him, he goes all in to research it.
Well, yeah, if he's passionate about something, he will
put that
focus.
He becomes an expert.
He got
quick.
Became passionate about whiskeys. Ask him anything about whiskeys. Ask him anything about teas. I said, Steph, go to the liquor store, and if you got this much knowledge, put it to use.
Thank you.
Then you get involved in these games and what have you. But boy, if he got focused on something, laser focused, and that really at an early age, because we came down from Georgia to Disney World, and he got the key to the liquor bar, and he stayed there focused until he got that key and unlocked it at 3 years old. I mean, he was like that laser focused.
He didn't want liquor; he wanted candy.
Yeah, but he was
the expensive candy that's in those.
He was very, very vocal with us that he wanted more candy because we bribed him with candy all the way down on the plane. We were waiting for the car to come to get.
What a funny story!
Jump seat for him, and I'm gonna let you tell it before I start laughing.
So we're in the car. We're on the way to this dinner, and he's in the back seat wearing a sailor suit. And I want candy. No, Stephan, I'm looking at the rear view. No, Stephan, you can't. We're on our way to dinner. Do I split dinner? I want candy. No, you can't have candy.
So Jen Soto said that they hadn't been intimate for at least 6 months. So it sounds like she was just handing Maddie over to Stephan, and I don't know why they're telling these stories of him in a little sailor suit. That makes me want to puke.
And he goes, I looked at my rearview mirror, looked at her, and just started laughing. And I said, no candy. And so everybody's complimenting how cute he looks and what have you. So I got to tell you a cute story. He got obsessed with stuff sometimes, but
And I am loud. When I'm frustrated, I yell. I don't scream. Somebody told us that I'm a screamer. I don't scream. I yell. If they want to hear a scream, I'll show them a scream. But
she's Irish.
Yes.
Do not upset the Irish.
What is wrong with these people?
I go from 0 to blow real quick, and I do yell. I do not beat. Do not abuse him physically, but I yelled. Most of the time I'd be yelling from one room to another, but I yell.
A former DI in the Air Force.
Yeah.
And she tried that on me very early in our marriage. Right. And I said, no, sorry, I'm not going to fall for that.
We made a pact when we got married, because we got married, we didn't know each other.
Yes.
We knew each other for 5 weeks on the phone. We met again at our 10-year high school reunion. Got married 6 weeks later. I was in California. He was in Georgia. Back then, the rates changed at 8 o'clock my time, 11 o'clock his time, and he'd call me. So we did our courting on the phone. And he came. We got married. Drove across cross country in my 240Z to the gills.
240Z.
A lot of fun.
I fly out to California. She's got all these boxes piled.
This is really weird why they're talking about that when there's a, I believe she was already, I mean, she was not, I believe she was already dead. Maddie was, and they're talking about this. Did they know about it yet? Birdie Seraphine, thank you so much for the $9.99 super sticker. You guys are amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know what the hell these people are talking about.
Up in the family room. I go, what's that? That's going with us.
Oh man,
240Z. That's what
she's talking about her 240Z, and they're so proud of it. That and Stephan in his little sailor outfit. Jill Poppy, thank you so much for the $10 super sticker. And I love your dogs. They're so cute. Oh my goodness. Cinder, hello, Jay, my favorite person. Thank you for everything you do. You're very welcome. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to hit that like button, y'all. We have 474 people in chat. Make it count.
Let me tell you what's going in there. Cases of Coors, because you can get Coors west of the Rockies,
Right.
east of the Rockies, and my golf clubs. But these boxes are not going to fit in that 240Z. It's just you, me, the beer, and the golf clubs. That's it. And we drove cross country in that thing. Wow. But anyway.
But
we digress.
Yeah,
So anyway.
He told me, he says, whatever you do to me, I'll do back to you. Because I slapped him once.
Aw.
He said, you want me to slap you
Okay.
back? I said, no.
Hello.
He said, then don't slap me. He said, so whatever you do to me, I'm going to do to you. So the next time I got mad, I dumped popcorn on his head.
Mm-hmm.
He picked up the bowl, some left, he dumped it on my head. I said, all right, I get it. I get it. I get it. And we have never, we don't fight like that anymore. We sit down and talk when we're calm enough to finally sit down and talk.
Right.
There's a lot of
We have
me
a
going in
blow
my
up,
and
5
this.
minutes later, it's over.
Yeah.
You know, forgotten about it.
No, there's no grudges held. But with him, it's you never know.
This is Stephan Sterns' parents. This is Deborah Stearns and Chris Stearns. And I don't know why they're talking about their relationship and how they interact with each other. None of us care. We just want to get through this audio together and support each other and get justice for Maddie. And hello, Carrie.
It's like my mother. You never know when something's going to trigger him that reminds him of something he was mad at you before. And then he gets mad about that all over again. And she did too. I don't see any right reason to do that, but
interesting.
Tell me about his relationships growing up as far as intimate. Do you guys know anything about those? Did he date much?
I know some. I know.
She would know more than me.
Okay. His first real love was Kendall, and that was in California. And that's
What age was that?
No.
High school.
Yeah.
High school.
Yeah.
Early high school, like freshman year.
Okay.
Freshman year.
Yeah, 15, 16.
Yeah, and that was we loved Kendall, and Kendall loved him. He loved her. That was the only reason he didn't want to leave California, was because Kendall was going to be there. And
Were they the same age?
yes.
Yes.
And then
Good
when we
question.
came to Florida, there was just
Crazy girl.
other relations.
That was a really good question, everybody. And Michelle, thank you. Their cute stories must be their ridiculous, sad attempt to try to humanize their demon of a son. Disgusting. I agree. I definitely agree with that. I'm like, what are they doing? But yeah, trying to humanize him. Good question. Definitely good question. Kindle, that's a weird name. I thought they were actually talking about a Kindle. And I want to send love out to you, Brooklyn Strong Feather. Thank you for being here. And it's okay if you have a bunch of capitals in chat. It's all good. I think they are in denial. All right, let's keep going so we can get this knocked out together.
Relationships that were just short, nothing
long term.
Yeah, just cycle through a bunch of girls.
Yes.
And the guys he was hanging out with didn't approve of him because they just seemed like no motivation, no drive. I grew up with the, I grew up in Winter Park. I hung out with the elite people in Winter Park, the Showalters and the Manellos and what have you. I worked at the hardware store, Miller Hardware in Winter Park. And so, I had drive, I wanted to get ahead, and I associated with the better crowd kids. He never did. I never approved them. They were just lazy, looking for the next party, looking for the next hit of marijuana. But, so there was just a cycle of those people all the time. But nobody's steady that they were aware of.
You could bargain with him. All of his friends were getting tattoos. Chase decided that they were all going to get branded with 521, their 521 club in Windermere. He has a brand on his side. They did it with coat hangers. And I said, if you promise not to get tattoos, then for your 18th birthday, I will take you to a tattoo parlor and I will get you something that's meaningful. You don't want dice or Popeye or something stupid that you're going to wear when you're 70. I said, what do you want?
I do.
I want the coat of arms. I said, I will do that for you. But you let me pick the tattoo parlor because I want to make sure they're clean, they're reputable, and I will pay for it. And he did.
Interesting.
He didn't get any other tattoos beyond that. It's on his right back shoulder. I said, and don't put it someplace where it's obvious.
I know you said that you didn't necessarily approve of some of these friendships, and then you said he dated a crazy girl or one or two.
She was crazy.
Were there any inappropriate relationships with females? Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Never.
Did you ever see a change in what he was attracted to?
No.
Well, I didn't know what he was attracted to.
He was attracted to boobs.
Yeah, but I don't know what he was attracted to.
Big boobs.
It was very.
Welcome.
I can't recall other than one or two girls at our house that there were groups of people when that was there, but I don't even know who he dated and per se. I mean, there was one girl that was a steady for a while, but other than that, I don't know who he dated because he dated outside the house and they didn't come to our house.
Sorry.
But whatever.
Sorry.
And the thing is that the girls initiated them. They were calling him all the time. He wasn't calling them. And then his wingman Chase was laughing one day. He said, "Boy, I'm glad Stephan's my friend." I said, "Why?" He says, "Because he attracts all the girls, and I get the ones he doesn't want."
What's Chase's last name?
Absolutely disgusting. Thank you guys for hanging in here. Thank you for everybody that just came. Thank you for finishing this with me. Evil Lady membership for 2 months. Jay and Guilty of Crime are the best. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you, Maurice. Thank you. All right. Let's finish this together.
Leonard.
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 Leonard. Leonard.
He lived around here, or
no? He lives. I don't know where he lives, but he
lives in Windermere.
Oh, okay.
He was living in Windermere.
He called into that awful website, Great Views Investigations.
He called into it?
He called into it. People are calling.
Did you hear that?
Saying stuff about him I've never heard, never witnessed, never known. And I am being flayed. Being flayed. Because, as I said, I'm a yeller. But I never did anything bad to that kid. I didn't do bad to any of them except save them.
We touched on Stephan and Jen's relationship.
Yep.
Tell us about Stephan and Maddie's relationship.
Maddie called him dad. The last time that they were here, Stephan was sitting in this chair. Jen was here. Maddie was on that side, and she was leaning over with her arm around Stephan's shoulders and petting him with her hand, because she was getting ready to go to sleep. So she came in to get her hugs and kisses goodnight from everybody.
Yes.
That's the. I mean, he didn't really interact with her.
Thank you.
In front of you, yes.
Right.
Did she act that way towards Jen too? That same time?
She came and got a hug and kiss from Jen too.
Okay.
She even gave, I think when I came into bed, she gave me a hug tonight too. That was it.
Did you see any changes in Maddie over the years in her personality?
No, we talked about that the other night. It's like there was nothing visible and noticeable about it, change in her attitude, demeanor, what have you. And again, we hadn't seen Maddie since maybe early 23. I think at the same time Jen got her car, they came down for a night. Didn't notice anything out of the ordinary. Seemed like all the experiences that we had observed in the past. You know, happy kid, playing with the dogs, and either watching TV in there, going to bed, or floating around in here.
Did you know her to be on prescription medication?
No, I didn't know. No, not at that time. She was just starting it. That was something that was worrying Jen a lot. She was just starting to show the bipolar, and they thought that was why she was becoming so combative with Jen.
I know you touched on it earlier, but you said Stephan didn't have that, to your knowledge, Stephan didn't have access to your storage unit.
No.
To my what?
To your knowledge.
No, to my storage unit, no.
Who all has access to it? Just you?
Just me.
I don't even have a key to it.
And when I ask access, is it a code to get into the secured gate and then a padlock?
Yes.
Okay. And only you have those codes.
I have the code. It's in my phone as a contact record. But as far as I know, he didn't have that code. Now I am missing a key and have been missing the second key for over a year. So when they first started telling me about he came down to access the unit, I started thinking, well, that explains where the other key is. But I could have lost it, but I have no idea where the key is. And the only way to know whether or not anybody else accessed that is if the storage unit printed out it, and because I don't access it that often.
So I was here the morning that the storage unit was searched. Is there anything of like tremendous value in there? I know there's a bunch of bins and I see a few suitcases and stuff like that.
Yeah, just overflow from the garage. I was going to go over and look.
Thank you, Samantha Cohen. 99-cent super sticker. If I had 16,299-cent super stickers, I'd have 16,200. Well, minus 30% from YouTube. Thank you. Shout out to you. Yeah, I don't know why the storage locker is so secretive. Stephan Sterns' mom didn't even have a key. Makes me think the dad had weird stuff going on. He was cheating on her back in the day. They filed for divorce. Probably. I wouldn't doubt it.
Look to see if anything had been moved, because I couldn't imagine Stephan going in there. There should have been a bunch of dog crates piled up, and it's packed, other than just a small section between the bulk stuff and the racks that I have there where I have access on the right.
He did have some boxes of his stuff. But
Yes, but it's way so far back that he would have to empty the whole storage unit out to get it. Okay. Back in the left-hand corner. It's well, that's too much work. He wouldn't be willing to do that much work. As a W in the word, he wouldn't do it.
Did you guys ever witness or hear him looking up inappropriate stuff on the internet?
I have no idea, because we never had access to his rooms.
He didn't use our computers. He had his own.
Obviously, his room is over here. Do you mind if we look?
Yeah. Look,
is it the same way it was, pretty much?
No, we started cleaning it out because we.
I bet. They started removing evidence, they mean? I bet you they were cleaning his room out. And I do hate the victim blaming. They've been blaming Maddie for being different things, being medicated, being lots of things. and they're not blaming Stephan at all. Straight up victim blaming.
He's existed in there. We haven't touched that room. At this point, he said, well, there's no way in hell he's ever coming back here. We're just going to gain access back to this room.
We gave the other police complete access to it before we touched anything.
Okay. Yeah.
And the stuff that I had thrown away, the trash off of his big table, I had left there in a bag. And I said, this is all I have done at this point. And if you want to go through the bag, you do it. You know?
So we're just getting rid of clothes and then trash that's in there. And then, like I said, it's going to take a while for us just to get in there and sort it out and figure out if there's anything of value that could be sold. And so, but it's pretty much the same mess that he left it in.
Remember, this coincides with the commissary and them sending him money and him saying, hey, I have a friend that might want to buy this, this, and this. His little Warhammer figures they cost money. You could sell them off. Although I don't know who would buy Stephan Sterns Warhammers, but that's what they wanted to sell them for, is to get more money for his root beer candy and his commissary.
That's all I have for now.
I got the floor swept a little bit.
You mind if we take a picture of it when we go?
Oh, yeah. If you want to, go ahead.
Do you mind if I take a picture of your notepad?
Well, I'll just give you the notes.
Do you have more?
No.
You want to make a copy of them?
Have
In case
you?
somebody else wants to know the same information.
Oh, I can go do that.
Thank you.
Okay to do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I have the original pictures of the room before I touched it. If you want to see those, or I can send you copies of it.
Yeah, if you don't mind, let me do. There's my card. If you can just, if you want to email them to me, that'd probably be the easiest.
I took pictures because it was so disgusting.
Yes.
It'll take a while. I've got a week's worth.
Almost.
Yeah, no worries.
Do a lot of pictures. Do either of you like Trump?
Oh my
I'd
God.
rather
Not
hold my
talk about
opinions
it.
myself, especially being on the record.
I'm not going to say it on the record. I was just going to show you something cute.
Can I make a personal observation?
Oh my God.
Thank you.
What are you showing me?
That is funny.
Oh, so when this thing came down Wednesday afternoon, we meet with the detectives and then personal escort, what have you, and then everything goes dark at 4 o'clock. 4:04, I get a text message. Finally, I get a text message from Jen trying to figure out what the F is going on. And
Oh my
she
God.
texted me and said, get Stephan.
She texted me and said, get Stephan a lawyer. Realistic. Thank you so much for the $9.99 super sticker. You guys are freaking amazing tonight. Man, yeah, they're trying to deflect off their son. They're now telling that Jen Soto said, get a lawyer. Why would she say that, folks? Why would she say that? Thank you, Sensimilia C13. Thank you for chilling with me on a Friday night. And I do love these long lives sometimes because we just get to chill out and there's something to do. We get to chat with each other and we're in it for the long haul. So we're going to listen to this, finish it up together. We got like 15 more minutes and then I'm going to show you those pictures that might burn a hole in your eyes.
A lawyer now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why? And then she says, well, they have found these images on Stephan's phone that there's sex acts between Maddie and Stephan. And I go, I disbelief and go, okay. And I asked her how long, and she said 2 years.
Oh man.
And she said something to the effect, like he needs a lawyer up.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was just really weird. And so a few hours later,
that was what I named this stream, that Jen Soto said demanded her son or demanded for Stephan Sterns to get a lawyer by the dad, Marissa Fontaine. Thank you so much for the $1.99 super sticker. You guys are amazing, man. Awesome. What in the world? Lock her up, right? Why would she say that? Would you tell your Chomo killing son to get or boyfriend, I should say, to get a lawyer? Jamila, you became a member. Yes. I will see you next week on our members only.
She finally comes out of the I'm communicating with her before this, and so I got to go get something to eat, and got to use the restroom. The station's locked up. I can't get in. And she said, well, they said, go up to a Wawa or something. I said, okay. And the next thing you know, no, they're going to let me out. I'm going to get something to eat. So she comes out, and demeanor is just matter of factly, everything's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And we get in the car, and we're talking. And we go to get something to eat. And I kept thinking, this is a woman who just learned that her child had been sexually abused for the last 2 years. And she's acting towards me like nothing's happened. Mm-hmm. And it's like another day, another evening out, we're just spending time together. That entire time. And then I take her back to the police station. And then she's done with her interview. The detectives come out and say, hey, we want to talk with you. I said, fine, there's something to have a conversation with me.
Exactly.
Arrange for her to get in the car to stay with Sailor. And I go up and have my conversation with Alex, and then I go back to the car, and I'm going to take her back home because she needs a ride home. And even her demeanor of coming out with the detectives is just like, everything's fine.
Did she act like that during previous contacts with you guys, whether it be last month, last year? Was it the same kind of interaction?
Yeah. If anything, this is the most interaction I've ever had with her. Mm-hmm. Because when she came here, I never really interacted with her unless we're having a meal together. Mm-hmm. And so we're leaving, and I'm taking her home. And I kept thinking as we're talking, I'm expecting her to just blow up and start beating the shit out of me or scratching me or chewing my ass out. But no, none of that. I kept waiting for something to explode. As a matter of fact, as we're leaving, before we went downstairs to the lobby, Stephan handed me his pocket knife and said, you better hang on to this. That's okay. And then I threw it in the console of my car as I'm leaving. I look down and I see this knife, and I go call Alex and say, hey, Stephan gave me his knife that's got it in the console. Maybe you should have it. Mm-hmm. So I swung back around and took it to her. I didn't get any questioning from her. What are you doing that for? I kind of expected that, but I didn't. Ran to the piece of paper, gave it to Alex, gave him a statement, we left. Took her back. And, everything, she's acting just too normal. It doesn't seem, it's acting abnormal because she shouldn't be that way. Her demeanor should be entirely different. And then she goes on to tell me that Stephan was sexually frustrated because she and Stephan were not having sex. Her medication changed. She didn't have any interest in sex, and so there was no sexual engagement between the two of them. And I said, well, this is really unusual conversation to hear this from a mother that, if you ask anybody else, what would your reaction to be? I said, I would be batshit crazy beating somebody up. And that was not the case. And then I saw the interview. I said, I keep thinking, if I saw that interview Tuesday and they called me, I said, no effing way would I have gone to Orlando, because I would have seen for myself like everybody else did on YouTube too. They weren't buying the story. And what I saw Stephan doing was a repeat of what he had talked to me about on Monday evening.
Video
and
pictures.
Thank you.
I was just, I couldn't, her mannerisms were exactly what I saw and observed Wednesday evening, if not even better, I was just in disbelief as to how she spoke and how she handled herself at the point when the bird came into the scene and was squawking or doing whatever, and everybody paused and you waited, and then it stopped, and then she smiled, and I said, boy, that's an unusual response to smile about this bird.
This is a good interview right here, folks. Listen up. I know that you're listening, but this says a lot. It's more than they've said almost the whole time. So let's listen to this and what the dad thinks of her.
So hope the beater was just way off. But then, it carried forward into Wednesday. I don't think I would have come up, but then I would have learned some other things about her had an outcome. But it's like, why was I brought to Orlando?
Mm-hmm.
Unless to get me out of the house.
Which left me here alone.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no idea. But
you watched his interview that he gave to the news, right?
Yeah.
Because you said that was roughly what he told you on the phone.
Yeah.
What was his reaction like to you? Did it seem genuine? Did it seem...
It was very difficult to tell when he was, I could never tell if he was lying to me or not. I mean, it was very difficult. I just, at one point, I just said, you know what? If his lips are moving, he's lying, and I'll never get the truth out of him. And there's no way of breaking him.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We're missing a Rolex. Where did that go?
My father's Rolex.
So, he would never fess up to that. And again, where did all this money come from? Where's his Omega watch? So I'm assuming where all this money was coming from is that maybe he sold off his Omega, maybe sold off the Rolex, which I find shocking. He would sell that Rolex first before he would sell his Omega. Because
these parents are ridiculous, folks, but they're spilling some tea. And I hope this is used against Jen later. I hope Stephan Sterns also says something about her. That makes sense if she wanted to get him a lawyer because she wanted him to be quiet. That would make sense too. Jojo for show. Thank you for gifting a Guilty of Crime membership. I hope somebody that really wants it gets it. Thank you all for hanging in here. We have about 7.5 minutes left of this audio. Thank you for staying for the long haul.
That's how much he cherished that watch. He inherited some money and immediately went out and spent $7,000 on a watch like he really needed to. So I have no idea where that was. But he was very impulsive. He couldn't wait. If he wanted something somehow, some way, he got it.
Do you guys have ties to St. Cloud?
No.
We did what?
St. Cloud. No,
St.
we have
Cloud.
no ties to St. Cloud.
No ties to St. Cloud.
Yeah.
Any reason why he would have went there?
I have no idea. Other than the fact that maybe he's just trying to get as far away as possible. I mean, I have no idea. But based on what I've seen on TV, I can see where the flat occurred and where he had to drive, I guess, 2 miles back to the hard surface. And maybe something happened. He drove that rubber right off that wheel. Have no idea why he was down there.
Obviously not an easy question. Do you think he was capable of doing what he did?
I would, if you had asked me Sunday, I would have said no.
No, I
Never in
didn't.
a million years. He loved that child that was supposed to be his
No.
stepdaughter if they stayed together. He helped raise her. He was not allowed to discipline her. Maddie did that. Jen did that, but he acted as a peacekeeper.
Sure.
No, and to kill her? No. I think if I had to put forward a guess, I would think that it was accidental. I think that I know it's stupid. Yes, I'm Irish, and yes, I've had dreams that are precognition. Yes, they come true. But I did have a dream, and in that dream, they were in Stephan's room and in Maddie's room, unclothed. Jen came in to wake her up. Was confronted by the fact that they were together in a way they shouldn't have been. And I think a struggle ensued and she either hit her head or broke her neck. So I don't think couldn't have been a gunshot because everybody would have heard it. I think stabbing, you'd have found blood. So that's the only thing I can think. And that then
Yes.
she would have told Stephan, and in my agreement was, this is all your fault. You caused this. This is all your fault. You have to fix it.
We think he's being the front person on this and falling on the sword. And Jen's definitely
Bad to the
So
bone.
that's what we think.
So then you believe
Nah,
that
I dream.
Jen would
Right.
have prioritized your son more than her own daughter.
Yes,
Yeah.
Why?
I do.
because she didn't have anybody else.
Oh, I think they made a pact.
I think they
And again,
decided who was going to
you look
do
at
what.
her hugging him and consoling him at that interview, you know, knowing full well what the truth is. And I think Stephan's decided to be the fall guy in this because he's feeling remorse over the inappropriate relationship he had.
I gotta say that I've thought this many a times, folks. I've definitely thought this before, that he took the rap for her in the fact in a pact that she prioritized Stephan over Maddie, and then he dumped the Maddie's body. Diane Balboa, thank you so much for the $5 super sticker. You guys are being amazing tonight. Yes, the fall guy in this, I've thought that since almost the beginning, that he actually dumped Maddie's body and Jen was in on it. So I'm wondering if this is going to come up. I wonder if he's going to talk to his lawyer about this. ASDFJKL. I'm a noob. Sorry, I sent it the wrong count. I totally included my mailing address and everything. I email you to confirm. Yeah, I'll cancel it. I definitely will. That's happened before. No worries. Yeah, he would. When I say I think he took the fall, I think that he got his part out of it, where he was essaying Maddie for years, and she knew what was happening. I'm trying not to get too excited. I'm laughing because I'm getting excited, and try not to. If I get too happy, the blood pressure. Yeah, don't make your blood pressure go up. Let's finish this.
With Maddie, and that since if he's going to be
Right.
be discovered in this, that he's going to be the front guy in this. But
He
she's
owes
just
that
as
to her.
culpable as he is in this.
The other thing is that as a mother, I have seen that child cry. You do not fake the sound in his voice, the clogged sinuses that he was dealing with.
Mhm.
The man was sick. No. I don't know if she just feels vindicated that she took care of it. I don't know, but I know that he's the only one that's feeling any remorse or any sorrow for that child, and she is not.
I
That's
told
me.
Debbie when I left Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning, I said, do we really know our son? Because at that point, I didn't know what to question. But,
Apparently not, from some of the stuff that's coming out of these calls into Gray Hughes.
but anyway,
I mean, stuff that one kid said that we were providing him with Hustler magazines. We've never had a Hustler magazine in our house. We don't have booze in our house unless it's for people to come to visit. We don't drink. We don't do drugs. Don't smoke cigarettes anymore. Quit those before I got pregnant with him.
Yeah, right.
Just a lot of it, connecting the dots after the visit, what have you, and then seeing that interview, I was like blown away by that interview. So,
I think people are making some crap up just to be sensational.
Yeah.
It's the internet. You gotta take it for what it's worth.
Just
When do you think? Well, I don't know if you can tell us or not. I mean, I see 3 milestones coming up that we have to prepare for the backlash, the autopsy, obviously the charges that come out afterwards, and then if the other shoe drops with Jen, and hopefully that happens where it diffuses some of this to where it needs to go as well.
I can answer one of those questions. The autopsy is done. Autopsy was done Saturday. But as for the other two, we can't really.
I know you guys have to get your act together on that, because that obviously is very important to the case and getting all that put together.
You're not going to tell us how she died, are you? Or when?
They can't do that. No, can't do that.
When everything comes to an ending,
we need a heads
we
up
will.
because we've already had people coming to the door with microphones and crap and vans out front, and I'm getting hate mail, hate texts, hate phone calls. People saying some pretty awful things to me about being a rotten mother, and
what we've explained to others that we have interviewed, we can't tell you guys what to do. All that we can do is ask, is it if media contacts you or something like that, you don't want to contact them, direct them towards us. And then we will do, our department will handle the media stuff.
Northport's been great. They've
You guys are rock stars for being here for so long. We're at 3 hours and 24 minutes. We have about a minute and a half left. This has been a really good, not only live, you guys have been super engaged, but I mean, it's been a lot of information in this. Lydia Trusty, I hope you can hear me through your TV. You watch the TV on your show and you comment on your phone. I do that too. Kathy, the one and only Kathy is a new YouTube member. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, you guys. And Rebecca Wyman, good night. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully very soon. All right, let's finish this up together. And then we'll burn into your eyes those pictures in case you didn't see them yet. He's not naked.
actually stepped up their patrol units here. They know what
I hope so.
They know what we're up against, so they've been very helpful.
Well, the Landrys were here, so they've been through this before in the last 2 years.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have.
Isn't that strange? Tiny little Northport where people go to die. This is God's waiting room, you know. A bunch of old farts here. And we have 2 murders.
Well, it wasn't here.
It wasn't, no, it didn't happen here, but still, they're chasing the parents to Northport. Well, the Landry kid came home and they helped him, so that's a little bit different. But still, I don't want to feel like I have to look over my shoulder all the time. I don't want to feel like I have a target on me. It's you have to have nails.
Aww.
You want me to get it out for you?
I got it.
Well, like I said, I really do appreciate you guys speaking with us. Since it was, our conversations were recorded, you swear everything that you told us was true and accurate to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I knew there was a reason there were 3.
All right, we made it, everybody. We made it. I can't believe we made it that long. I never do 3.5 hours. And Carly's going to be like, that was a long live. Everybody's in here. Petty Mason, Jojo, Wolfpack. I saw Bree earlier. Carly, you guys are amazing. C. Smith, hi Jay. Been here the duration. Love you too. All right. 481 people in chat, folks, and we got through that. That's crazy. You guys are diehard Friday night people, right? You guys are all about that. I love Friday nights too. So I'm going to show you this because, well, I think that you should see these pictures. That's not the one I want to show you. Boop. All right. So Stephan Sterns' eyes look crazy, y'all. Crazy. And Joe Nana says doesn't feel like 3 hours. It doesn't, does it? You guys are great. And you're welcome. My dedication is strong for this case. And if I don't report on it now, guess what? I'm going to have to report on it later in the week or the weekend. So let's get through it. I got to do it. Jojo, thank you for gifting a Guilty of Crime membership. I hope somebody gets it that really wants it. All right, let's show these pictures and trigger warning. If you guys are going to see Stephan Sterns with his shirt off. These are the pictures they took of him when he was being arrested. I've been here the whole time and enjoy your lives. Brenda, thank you. You know what? I'd be on here too if I wasn't doing this. Signed, commented, and shared. Thank you. All right. She doesn't want a bullhorn screaming on her front lawn. No bullhorn Betty. Oh, man, you guys. He does look druggy. Look at his eyes. All right, let's go. Look at his eye goes this way. This one's straight, and that one goes off. Ugh, what a disgusting human being. Plunder's got it all over his shirt. He looks dirty. He looks smelly. His pants look dirty. His shirt looks dirty. He just looks like a slob. It looks like he's been wearing that shirt and those pants for like 5 days. And he probably has. And he's got a watch on. Look at that nasty human being. All right, there you go. What you've been waiting to see. Him without his shirt. Lydia Trusty says, I understand how you're feeling, Jay. I had to stop watching all the podcasts for a few days. It affected my heart so bad. Yeah, that does happen. He is absolutely disgusting and dirty and gross. Oh, I mean, what can they get an assault? Listen, I'm going to wait to heal up because people are shocked the way I am right now, and her face is going to get boxed in. Oh, poor Maddie, right? It's disgusting, everybody. Appreciate the membership so much. It's my first time being gifted one. Well, guess what? Next week, we're going to do a members only. So please do come back for that members only so that you can celebrate, join with us, and we laugh and we talk about true crime. But we're very serious too. All right, I'm going to scroll through it. Someone says, turn it off. I want you to see the one with the handcuffs and his stupid tattoo. That's a stupid tattoo, right? That's gross. He's all, ugh. He's all freckled, but it looks like dirt with his little nasty knobby elbows. And look at those dirty little grubby hands. His hands look disgusting. Ugh, I can't stand him. All right. That burned in. You guys could see my face while I was doing that. All right. You guys kicked ass tonight. I have 38 gifts, memberships, super chats, super stickers. You guys kicked butt today. Stephan Sterns is filthy. You're right. And JC, thank you for being a member for 1 month. Please sign the petition. Arrest Jen Soto. Now, if only we had this information on Jen, things are starting to come out. So as they come, I will be releasing them with you, together. Veronica S says, you are freaking hilarious. Love you. And I love you too. I'm glad I'm entertaining you all and presenting true crime at the same time. I do love that. Yeah, I'm going to go love on the pups. They're getting mad at me. LA says, thank you. The tattoo is a username online. All right. That is pure evil. All right. I love you all. Let's shake off all that grossness and, yeah, let's, the dog is begging you, don't show those pictures. My dog says, get over here, mom, and feed me. You're welcome. ASDFJKL, thank you for being here and chatting tonight. Thank you all. I love each and every single one of you. Let's arrest Jen Soto. Carly did it. You put that chair together. Yes, thank you all the mods for being here. And I wanted to say hi to Millie. I skipped that earlier, but hi, Millie, Sadie's mama. I'm glad you're getting to the night. Love you too. Miss Taddy, I'm glad you guys had a good time tonight, even though the content was rough. So I love you all. Good night. 444. Say a prayer for Maddie for complete and utter justice. Good night.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty?